there are some 7 tests. At least I will say unye.
And no regularity na say every year or twice every
unye kra na oye no once a year kra ye che de unye bi da.
Okay.
Once you are 30 years and above. I will say number 1, or sugar. I have fasting sugar. Any blood pressure. 1, you must know.
Okay.
And you must know from, especially these 2, you must know from 2 different sources. Preferably 1 private hospital, 1 government. Okay. And now 2 government hospitals. Okay. So that enko say ba ko na ho ye na bia ya ho ni yie. Say 2 no nyina ben dia. Say wo call lekma na isi pressure 200 150. Na o free lekma come Madina polyclinic kekere one na me roommate Dr. Yusuf Adani Ejuma. Na omo so check it. Na o BP ni 190 140. Che say 2 no omo ben. Che say am pass o BP no e wo high. We hear attention. Na ye share ebe boa ni padua ni nyina. Say an hwe dia over some time it can bring trouble. Number 2, cardiac enzymes test. Okay. You test the cardiac enzymes. Say wakoma no muscles na wo no say because of pressure ni or how nti ebi mu ewu a say akoma no muscles no bebre na eba together na form akoma no. Niam na ewo blood cardiac muscle no content no free mu echo into the blood. Into your take blood tester. Say who say more cardiac enzymes no akosura. She say oyo bi a lose over time some of your heart muscle, which means oyo bi a deserve some extra test on your chest or your heart. Cardiac enzymes. 2, 3. Prostate specific antigen PSA. Bema bia after 30 years. It was say every year at least. Hospital we he cry walk straight to any lab. Say obeye PSA. Na ye checking a value no e was ropa eno so e futu o ho ade ma. Now kidney function test. Kidney so kidney problem won na ho a preocupe no etimi di wo call hospital wan hwa na wa free nsem. Lipid profile obi lipid say
kidney ni de oba ne be me nyina nya mema.
Oh ene de me kan ye de
ade okay na ye mema.
Me kan for mema.
Okay.
Oyi ba ko bi free mu a ni nyina apply to mba so nanso empem bebre no because mbema no if me beyond this me can be kakra about stress in the body. Now kidney function test here obi everybody must know. Lipid profile your good lipid and your bad lipid.
Yes.
Enti say checking na who say o cholesterol no LDL the low one and then no high no yeah okay. In fact say who say was sure etimi ma ye check other things because most of the time no na form e clot eba o blood vessel mu na clot nso e form a entina fa ako da e be yi efri e be wona e be start to kwan o body mu no da o be pie wo chest ana wo timu no e di asemba. So ye check it hu pe ye wondro e ma wa enane niama no sa niama no na asom. Now the liver function test o liver nso sebi ye onema bebre itimi disturbing no. Now liver no na the zoom line of the body. In fact, liver na the proper zoom line. Bibia
clear waste in
bibia yempe body no onu no yi. Only the kidney. To munya problem pe, che say o body no entimi yi bola. Na want me yi bola dia. Ontimi ntimi.
Owo kwan so.
And the last one here BMI.
Body mass index.
Exactly. Obia I was saying check BMI. Say BMI na che say obia o ye underweight. Proper weight and now overweight. And now severely overweight, obese. Now obi your weight be ukita nyame pe na kita o. And then just say nipa also do be wunte now is not but weight was super e hunsem dos. Enti ye hu BMI na ya ye enti nyama 7 way say me hu results I bet my color coding. I bet my say oh you red o card you red just say oh giant and I was yellow and a green. In fact, I was telling someone say in words, you know, you were very alive, sick, dying, and dead. Now, my car about wellness, my own say still is not picky from. So I'll spend some time. I'm working with some people so that we can have a wellness clinic. Yeah. We only concentrate on people to give you your color code. So oh red, a bit more yellow. Through nutrition, exercise. What do you eat? Tell us what you take from morning to evening. from Coke ni Fanta ni ubi bibia na ya bo kakakra na ultimate reverse code ni pe ema oye better off. So the time me come be man say your cultural set, you know, nipa or handle
Ekosiisen on Asempa FM 94.7.
The CIMT Radio Program of the Year. Ekosiisen. Are you ready? You are listening to the CIMT Radio Program of the Year. Ekosiisen on Asempa 94.7 FM.
Ekosiisen on Asempa FM 94.7.
The winner, Radio Program of the Year 2018, I beg your pardon. Asempa FM's Ekosiisen. Let me come, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's now do the 27th award for the Night Radio Program of the Year 2020. The sponsor is the Ghana Journalists Association. Let's welcome the presenter of the award, none other, yours and mine, Mr. Athol Morny, the National President of the GJA. Please, a round of applause. The winner goes home with a memento, citation, and certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, the radio program of the year 2020 goes to Asempa FM Ekosiisen. Well, the host, I don't know who he has not interviewed yet. Congratulations to all of you, the entire team at Asempa FM's Ekosiisen. Congratulations to you for emerging the radio program of the year 2020. Let's do the radio program of the year 2023. The sponsor of this award is the Ghana Journalists Association, GJA. What radio program do you listen to? Is it the radio program of the year 2023? Ekosiisen Asempa FM.
Ekosiisen, Asempa FM.
And that's the radio program of the year 2023, Ekosiisen Asempa FM.
Well, I know that Asempa has gained a lot of experience. Asempa is one of the, not the forerunners, but in terms of coverage and listenership, you stand tall. The new FM stations that are coming into the arena are not calling on you to exit, them to survive. Is that what is happening? No. They are learning from you. They are learning under your feet. They are also trying as much as possible to find space. And, there's enough in the world for everybody. There's enough in the world for everybody. And so I think that those who are coming up, we definitely will encourage the injection of new blood. But you cannot also totally do away with the experience.
It's always a pleasure coming to Asempa where the truth is spoken.
I mean, sure.
Obi,
yes.
I mean, your platform is a cherished platform. MPP, NDC,
yes.
They come here,
yes.
You ask the relevant questions, issues are discussed. And I think that is the image you also have as a host. And keep it up. Keep it up. But don't run away from the court. Please practice your law.
I will do that.
Practice your law.
I have started.
Obi, consistently practice your law.
You
can combine. You can multitask.
Sure.
Do your journalism, do your media work, but practice your law. And your law will not depart from you.
I thank you, Syria. I thank you. Ekosiisen Asempa 94.7 FM.
Asempa FM. Ekosiisen. Asonyina tie. Sa platform media. Se unya na betna subia na Fabi Bruni Bessie, it's a privilege and an honor. Na yamu be so part of the inception of this particular platform. Shasi Ache and no more so Shasi, and we thank you for maintaining that credibility when it comes to delivery of more program.
Samuel Atachi, Honorable Minister in charge of Works and Housing, Member of Parliament for Ebuakwa South.
Time I have that. If I have any aje. Na any man that ho never to accommodate so. Minimum set Ghana da wakoma so. Sounds when da makoma so. Nti ehwe na o man impeja.
Me continue na me cheche ho wuye. Anza me free mako be go fra mako.
Yeah, best thing about being Comobio. Why?
You, the floor say.
Medin your say Bonsu.
Was able to.
Whom we now frame me Obi a major also. Why?
In the zone you will be a one and
Chairman Medase. Chairman Putin, Central Regional Chairman, Hedima MPP. Hey, Chairman Putin will be Kunipao. Wow.
Openness, I think that this shouldn't be a problem at all.
Mida itself should come out, yes.
Yeah, Mida should tell us, Miracle, this is a shareholding structure. Indigenous Ghanaians, only maybe X percentage, and the Philippines, they only Y percentage. And I think that should settle this matter.
Honorable, it's always a pleasure talking to you. May that's a powerful for your time.
What be?
And the Honorable John Jinaponi attending Kano.
Asempa FM.
Your Excellency, Akwaba, na Otten.
Hey, Obi, Yamina Dumiahui.
Bibia
Boko, me chete fupa. Na mabahan me hude Zamasasa. Wabrabo. Sande Obi and the minimum Sekedi Takra. This is nationally. The level, baby, we'll do Royal. Wow, that's great. It's great. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
You see, that has always been my philosophy. We hasn't there, happen, you know.
Yeah.
As the trees grow, others come up.
Yeah.
It's painful work. I also say that's it. It's really a pleasure to be before you at Asempa. And this is the first time Samara me pre Asempa FM.
Okay.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Arriba! Asempa FM. Asempa FM. Obi nebado biba. Obibo biba. Ode Asempa na bo. Obi nebado biba. Obibo biba. Ode Asempa na Obi nie Ekosiisen nie Bonsu awo Asempa de brane mama Obi som
And now you can say, yeah, you penny, IGP. I know police headquarters are your home. Officer, no team, no quite this or Sanko Borgo. There's a time that is coming. That's why Bible says that there's time and season for everything. And then Kofo two manima or more interrogate you. One day they will be they also be visitors and witnesses to certain cases. We have to be careful. Now you are careful. That you bet you will be you can't just Kofo Mammy or Pabra. Knowing for a fact saying so Mammy or Pasu. And to your mechanic said, oh, no, man, no, papa, you more bill, you ain't here, oh, I'm not company here. Okofo will be back, some minion company, I say, and quay DNA. So, you Timmy verify, now you prove, say, oh, my man, papa, Tia quay DNA. You could DNA approve, I can't say, otherwise. And to compensate, oh, my man, papa, ever banner, win your bill, or more, I saw, oh, we are soon so more. So just because they were feeling from say mini dime, make us uncle for dime radia. That's the name said, you one ever say, Eba. So, China, you saw be my mini papa. I am so my mini papa. Name me a sick of form of brand. Now the year more bill. What kind of number do you be a boy? No? A antro here called J. Bossiao, a Osebo. Yes.
Na Oseboko Bia, or so you know, Bitia. And I once I could eat torture and say,
so obi so you see kadia catch so kofa na maame ne papa mra ni maame ne papa ba no ma fon kra che won ba no o just say na just say san o tie yes nyese o be enti ya hwe ni ya san niam we edu ba bia na e bi no de o so bibi ni ani agye na ni ho akam o so bibi ni ani agye na ni ho akam na sabi adwuma na o mokokwaye no adwuma no kwa aban tua 1 city emfa ma omo na yakase o man na hwere sika bi said the abranti a no kasa ya na obon Jesus friend manase e kan ayedie na kasa de ncheche mu chese nkofo no di fokra Paladum mo chene de ades a yan bato mi na di fo nti ana na enko ana o monko court ana on na say on investigator ma OSP na say ana on no o ye na djuma na djuma o ye nti de OSP nyina no na o chechire mu de nti aye frɛ obo ene de information wanya. What is he waiting for? On from OSP na we dey say intentema no from court na court ni o masem na boni na o maye no ya wen twa maso adena akoye se o man we ye mpese company bia be grow o man we mu sana akoye o enti wo check background na hwe ade cutlass yes boachi mattress apia menkano okay timber firm timber companies ahodo na ewo ho o man mrantie ne mabawa sorry waka eyo o madwen se on be ye bibi sonko de aboa o man yam na konanim eno nyina company nyina egu ti company bi ani ho a challenge nipa etie me se obi wo ha company bi edi more than 50 years a o Ghanaian a on fa beto na entie cause ya na ekum bia ni ya sebi ni edi pifura aba sa de no me train that the so called can say investigative bodies on some journalists on be kwa investigate all these grocery shops near who taxes are hold mutua because a foreign company on your bonnet never I said ne crowd to say come mining wasama the only people are from illegal miners in Ghana for multinational companies in your own bonnet because I'm a brofunti the kumda for near dija yes say hosa na ana Ghana for man so ye bossy na ede me whatever happened to madam I'm not looking at his past but na juma yenti Ghana for bi didi me nua bi and this for penny for bi me money din on me kasa o se Charles o mu se me waban mu na me penny say na de me hunu se san wo don saka obi a obi wo ha wo ya busuani obi wo ye kurani. And you may think and say, my pam kwesi botwe na ekọ, my pam samiaye, but no pam di patodo. Now, let me say, ye nuanom ye wura John Mahama ne party frontier say. Say ndisi fon kwa ne to abamman kwa mo pawada. Ghana for hwe de ye koso. O hwe de menua samiaye kan ne ma ekoyie kama ne ma da yie. Yes, some George you may not like him, you may disagree with him, but on this spot on. Say ye twetwe sika bia office e broso na ode na dem AC form anya sa papa say Asempa papa say ina enije and dollar ya ye ka ho sami agina en kosoro say na yam hihie wo ho a edu ba bia na ka wo hu de won fa ho I agree say obi bia nhu a wo fa kwan papa so koto ne ma wo beka say wonya dollar ni bi debi enya no correct menyini sa nti but the entire yentimi monye so no say akwa ye say tumi yenye bia na eye winner takes all bi ba akofo na afa nyina abo ne bo ana the opa bia na odi 2 minutes we dey eye nti say ma wa de obeya no say kwan bia mefa so bia 2 minutes be free so machine sa na ba bi di misa no sa kwan na nam so we dey mefa so nti yam say yenya aban papa da ko what say obi abai so aban papa da what bi da nti bi da ti the course ya enne we thank God say sumie madwen see the OSP office no e ko dadwen ho no hu se kwan a tabo na wo de sobo na wo de ato abenu brantie Paul any two others no enya papa
19 polling stations akwete 119 polling stations yeah de obi me ka na maka sisu bia say yen ya boa ye ho anenam ye bebo ye ho ban.
Yeah.
Ye bebo ye ho ban
legally, right?
MPP ye bebo ye ho ban
legally.
MPP ye bebo ye ho ban.
Yeah, but it should be done legally. That's the point.
Ye bebo ye ho ban. Ye bebo ye ho ban.
But I say unim say and in fact me kaise Mustafa Bande akawa ha say akwetia na mo ba no NPP member be former.
You shouldn't be saying that.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But I'll say Akwetiano, more former appointee, be any leading member, be a what committee any crime against the state? Who drew on bet you?
No, on the moon, so I was trying upon the moon.
On the moon, you're saying?
That's not okay. Can you say? Akwetiano Chilipa. Don't be so be a bonia. I didn't put out going to friend is that you young for you. Akwetiano to be what?
And sir, Akwetia is still within the Ghanaian jurisdiction.
So what I'm trying to say that sometimes some of these unfortunate comment crown as a state institution. How can you say that will be back with here and I bet you know.
Ekosiise on Asempa FM 94.7.
Obinye Ekosiise nie Bonsu awo mene sempa de brane mama Obi som Oribo Ekosiise wo Asempa FM Ekosiise wo Asempa FM Ekosiise Asempa 94.7 Asunyine tie. Oribo Ekosiise wo Asempa FM Ekosiise wo Asempa FM Obi nebalo biba Ode Asempa na bo Obi nebalo biba Ode Asempa na Obi nie Ekosiise nie Bonsu awo mene sempa de brane mama Obi som
sees a sinyama. Iwasafa. He sees a saba. Kafulamo. Anichalenico. Kelise. Wemaye wemodo. Asafasa. He sees a sinyama. Iwasafa. He sees a saba. Kafulamo. Anichalenico. Kelise. Wemaye yakana. Asafasa. He sees a sinyama. Iwasafa. He sees a saba. Alamula. Anichalenico. Kelise. Wemaye wemodo.
Asempa FM.
Safasa Pelis a sinyama. Iwasafa.
Ekosiise Bonsu On Asempa de Mamba. Obi so.
Safasa Pelis a sinyama. Iwasafa. He sees a saba.
94.7 Asempa FM. So near Mena Subio, Eddie Ekosiise Jumediano Bremo. Brand new day, brand new week. The month of August, and a year, the 4th day of August 2025. And we are 4 days into the month of August, the 8th month of the year 2025. Afia ko papa yera nyame ase so de yenkwa ache yen na yera so tenkwa moje di emu afusane na tetrema nso de ye na bodwem aseda nka nyame enti woni mi mom ne yemfa aseda ma nyame waye bia dofo no enti ye mamu nyina akwa aba baby biara wo a wutie yen Ghana hafa na nyina wiase afa na nyina nyame nsha me need your say Bonsu from Obi. Let me thank the production team for making this possible. Dominic Kisiyeboa, Nana Chumberema, Jackson Osei Tiamoa, Ebenezer Tete, Oman Hene Kwabena Sante, and Equia Boachua Yadon. It's not to say at 6:30 p.m. and a Jumediano Eba Area. Officially, this is Ghana's biggest and the most authoritative political, social, and current affairs talk show, the reigning CIMG radio program of the year. And a Jwada Ermehia segment no Ebebremo, proudly sponsored by Africa Queen Mackerel, EcoBank Ghana, and a Blue Star Lotto. Before that, near the sound of our time, Abremo Dada, and also Thontina 74, Ifri Diagnostic Herbal, Royal Kingdom Estate, and a Provident Insurance. With Provident, man, you are covered. Omune boye de sound of our time, Ebremo. And there were interviews, I be on phone, it means one-on-one interview with studio, Syntex tank, and a power jet batteries, and a soy and a saying. Your discussion segment in so Franco Trading Enterprise, Millennium Insurance, Tabia Herbal, and a Felisco Sun Ghana Limited. We save your cargo, we save your life. And you may hear some segment now. Yane CEO of the Ghana Cocoa Board, Dr. Randy Abe, Ebetanase Eddie and Komo Unim say coincidentally, enenso ena aban ede cocoa producer price no aba betudwa.
and I generated a huge conversation on social media. And a man for analyze it against promises in opposition. In seminal bebre about, I would sit with the Cocoa Board CEO, na wabuaye, take us through what informed producer price are buying at the Atuja. And all of that conversation will be coming up here at exactly 3:30 p.m. when Dr. Randy Abe would be in our studios. But ansana no, omai hene kwabena sante atnase. But unim se Quality Life Assurance PLC. Quality Life Assurance PLC. Eternity akano Keolak. Almost say if you are looking for a better life for you and for your loved ones, then Quality Life Assurance PLC offers you world-class product that ensures that you enjoy life well. Better life. In the Keolak, over from 0556 589 662 0556 589 662. Na your product ayi wo nyina no yetimi akyere mu e de akyerɛw your quality education plan and wo ma daakye on adesua mani hia quality funeral support plan yen kyerɛboɔ e wa asase so ɛyɛ dan a emre ne beso na sɛ emre ne so a eyie nsɛm no because eyie de kabafie and the way anya hotoso bi anhwɛ na waso ayehye and you can sign up to the quality funeral support plan and so Keolak ediaba your quality group welfare protection in the mu yekuo ene WhatsApp group bia ade sa na ye donation ye gigiska and nyoma bebre but members on that group ne welfare no you can take it a notch higher move to sign it on to the group welfare protection Keolak ediaba and almost our micro insurance product bebre it protects your loved ones and secure your future with Keolak we inspire trust bomoden na channel so na woni eni djuma emayen ombe boa pa menka enada de biarada 28 minutes after 2 answer the memo man here akwaba na energy commission for di djuma bi afibia ye were the senior high schools renewable energy challenge omoyen every year senior high schools renewable energy challenge 2025 dear no emraso on the 9th and the 11th of August on the 9th and the 11th of August and ye did jumedi in 2 days because two zones ye was southern zone and ye was northern zone in the omonobe battle out omuria na afe no yahwe omo ebe qualify for the grand finale in the washer southern zone there na schools are participating no mediomudin ebetruja na ebeba so College of Engineering Auditorium ewo KNUST Kumasi Presec Legon Presbyterian SHS Enowa Late Bueman SHS Adidome SHS Asen Manson Senior High Technical School Antaman Girls SHS Bia SHT that Senior High Technical and Opokuwari School. Omono schools are battling out for the southern zone and no basso on the 9th of August. Omuria na on the 11th of August no northern zone ninso Ola Girls Senior High School, Sunyani Senior High School, Omumoto Memainti enye minti. Yewo Kintampo Senior High School, Damongo Senior High School, Dabokpa Technical Institute, Wale Senior High Technical School, and Bolgatanga Senior High School, and also here on the 11th of August. And who would be crowned Ghana's next clean energy champions? Catch the action live on Joy News at 9 a.m. on both days, into 9th and 11th August. 9 a.m. pepepe on Joy News. In the Jumedi Energy Commission Afa Hoka, na Omanyamwa from GIZ, Ashesi University, Volta River Authority, Greenfield Ambassador, and a Star Oil. Media partner, a Joy News. Ekosiise On Asempa. Me hear some segment emreno aso. Omayene akwaba.
Well, Obi, Unyame kachre we say behold, for I do a new thing in your life. In the life of Ghana, in the life of the politician, in the life of the shoemaker, in the life of the broadcaster, in the life of the teacher, the doctor, the mason, the carpenter, and in Obi Biara
life.
This is the 8th month. If you hear that voice clearly, onyamene wa hwa bedru sa mresantu. The new thing be that wa koma so usikasem enkoyi onyame se ginayi ginidi ono nyame be ya de foforo e wo usikasem amen fa ono nyame ne se oma aso odin emu no ono nyame obeya de foforo akontuo wunsem awade wunsem said ye beya wanim benya adom e wonanim ni nipanim onyame so obeya de foforo o promotion no and o bibi tete wana yade ana onyame se obeya de foforo. That is why his promises continue to be yea and amen. Ti mama nkoso encourage you this 8th month. Esin to biara ehihye biara ennam onyame nhihye adwene poni trimpo biara ennam onyame trimpo ne nsusuye onyame se ni nyina na sa gina ni nyina no behold ehoni hia no minyame in the midst of a poor mabo odwuma say wawari ibc basa nsema ye ka to so enim court case down so in try dey to so odwuma say osikasem adwuma mu promotion onyame say in the midst of all these waves behold may ye at the forefront on universal on train nyame bi no take decision ana on train kwabna santiana obi ansana wabo obi abaso
onye approve and from
debi so nyankopon ka se obemu adi yi a onkosre
ni meeting ye
onkosre nya fe na oba okrom ahemfo nom afe na mpese mbo kwabna santia abaso debi enti debi ada o kan se na kwan timi nye nipa kwan obi se nyamia kwan pa koye me kwabna santia kwan dia kanema bibiri ebe ada fufu
nyamia be approval
yes so nyamia kwan ekoye Osei Bonsu akwan a maybe baby anka wo director fa no nye ho na nyame pese odefa inshanka nyame se biribia da o ma esa ahotoso ni gidie ni se onu nyame na kwan enye no nyame o timi ka se wo ka kire na bibi pa betime free Nazareth abana
ase momra mehwe
aba
momra emra mehwe
inti mehu na mate sa nyame no ana me kanfo na ma wawie biribia da ye ka kire ade ba konso ewie pa ne se ye bompa ewie na akoda every time paibo no bibia
no
in fact behold naturally there is wisdom
there is a place for hard work
so as behold naturally
for thinking
mpacho tie sa ahotoso ne boshe na onyamedi ama ono nyina achi no wisdom edi achire
wisdom wo ho
so as hard work ho
thinking intensity
yes very important
your friend saying Mr. Wilson Nathan
yes
anti adwa mo
yes
they be say
yes
heavenly hands will not do what human hands can do.
Of course.
In the normal
already hands ni bibi dada. But say insano wosro no 2 million munyam wom e be toso a. Ti tomatoes no o ton unti ho wo bompa ewie no wan kwoti anda an kwotwense man abeba. Moment a wo don sa beka bibi no just that step.
Yes.
It behold na chini na make achro. Prayer na chini na make achro. Wisdom, thinking, associating with the right people of relevance. Emu obi abonfia. Enzu se wo de wo no we are seeing nyansa nyina no ni wa. Obi eni ho debi. Ye betimi apo na nzu we are say koso. Very important. Enipa dodo na amodi ahye mutrim say if you are not there. Ghana impuntu ne nkoso no ana party bi nkoso na impuntu ana ebusua bi nkoso na impuntu se kwabna santisi oni ho ana ebusua no ene enko na ba mesra oboa ofiri ho enne bibia be ko kama o asafu bim na wo na wo bo asafu no eye o se onyame na mosu hira asafu ntin se ofiri ho a onyame nye obia no nyame da ma refi no abu okra nyame timi suma abu anoma o timi suma anoma wa ya ma na broso Timesro, yeah, kika ne say ne de bia da me ka kire beyond, besides, and after prayer.
You have to make a move.
Very important.
Make a move. Very, very important.
Very important.
And I think it sums everything up for you know. It is a obom paye. Nyame bie kwan ma wunya shop e wa bose o kan. Now customer service e poor shop ne begu. Emfa won fast na wo be.
Exactly.
So customer service ye poor.
Ya ba de bia wo munakusu.
Wo munakusu te ho. Se wa bom paye nti shop ne begu. obey fasting the whole year. Shop no
40 days, 80 days, 100 days.
Do the things that human hands would have to do. Na fe nyankopon ato nhyegu so. Ahotoso aye nyina ye wo man enra anajo no Pastor Elvis Ajima no mo etie Alpha Hour would bear me out. He paid a lot of attention on Psalm 92. But the be kind Psalm 91 more. Psalm 91 is powerful, but Psalm 92 the Psalm 92:12 or say but the godly, other versions they come about the righteous will flourish like palm trees.
Hey,
abe. And all your exposition on my who say abe one very useful tree. Every part of abe no useful. Every part of abe no
abe akwa abia no yedi tu anamon wa
brabom. And na abe nso ye one tree a enye linked to season.
Ribia da prom.
Dry season, rainy season,
every season.
Ebia abe ahaba ye green. And wo dua abe a onyin se nsuo beto. Another men command fertilizer and dabi. In your sitting in obetu from to say abe, you would flourish.
This is so sweet.
Yes, you flourish like palm trees. That's the Psalm 92:12. And then you grow strong like the cedars of Lebanon. Cedar yedua, it can be there for about 300 years. Into ubenyi afebo. And that's ahotoswa tene for ye. But say they walk on was two animal because you have this assurance. Live right with God, live right with men, and these blessings will be your portion. It was powerful.
I address everybody, but the sector I'm addressing is the Christian food. Wow, Jinya me dibianum me catcher okese. Wono I nim se trade and Bonsu no pamcho ahobrase muntie. If we say beyond onyame asem ne mpaebo no. Yes. E nyansa onyame so dia do. Na say get very we say. Kiametran kasa because ke betwan nyame abofo no mom the mic so afri wiem abesisi ho na ye kasam na etu fa na esako aduane pagya ya na mana no basa onyame amanyansa. Yes. A BT a lot of people. Sure. You know, into makobo mpa ya wie de my 20 days a wie de my 15 days a wie de
now be competitors they be almost shop no wada.
Yes.
Baby shop 10 a.m.
Yes.
Obia baby 6.
Yes. A lot goes into being successful. Yes, remo. Yes, nyame ani madom no. Yes, ne humobro no. Na ya ankasa so nyansa onyame de fam ye de dom ye no. Na di tu anamo esefata. E ma we say in all this. Ye nyoma esefata obia bia wo hye se de be ya ni nyina kafu a brighten the corner where we find ourselves.
We say we kindly wish my brother Imbrantehene Jerry K, CEO of Ananu K Ventures, Okra Square. Happy birthday from the entire Ananu family. May the good Lord continue to bless him. Castro Ananu Ewan Sawem.
Okay.
And
so Castro, that's it. Will be again of relevance in so yeah. Yenuanum ye manum ye nananum or mashasi ene 2025 wasino. Yeah, shasi and then it's a so honas and a channel. Yatiesi mankasatro. Yes, sir. Say we cannot stand it again. These matters are debia mtana kana. Debia tana kana be twemuni abeye say now we manye say now we ko bon apo na obi amane now it keeps increasing by the day. The Asempa for a church for suku owners, invigilators, apostle for wayeki for all these people. Now Enkwadano they can't stand it. Parents can't stand it. The country also is losing. Yeah. And there's a confidence in even pursuing what you want to do academically. No, now from cancellation no kwana ekosro. Momi yenhwe graph na wansem na yenka ni ye. Na yema yemofano so nya wotoso sampa de odua no eno na obetwa nya apo na obekwa akoye no. At this stage men fashion. Debi. And it's dangerous at that age, you know. So man kwada no say ekwan bi wo ho a. Yes, ekwan bi wo ho a. Ubetimi afa kwati kwan atima kwaji nkuni mabodi a. Ebe hen ha ebe yi atofom. Ebe yi atofom. So what I say intimacy and a very important and to tell Paucho unya sika nya bone enya sika for man nyina so na tisa and to tell most of the people omun say mo sika one man you know what the children most of them think that sika na omunya na automatic on papa no munya no automatic ebeba omo so enti odo no say yedini ko suku say on pebra bi mu enya dia obetu wana mo yes your father or your mother worked hard or breaking the back ano no abedu baby or de wo edu no ti make sure so betime to anamo a ebebo ama bia cause di mofra mofra kra ye nana mofra ye nana no ma mochro ye wo fa asem ye ma mochro wasi no ye gidi se bibia be ko tote na e dia no ya men come on na bibia
what you need at this time a retentive memory
yep
yes
so another observations be for bia say na mako two major discussions na fe masere kwan because my own say Dr. Randy Abe eba betrans no di koko nkomo any koko board other matters bia e wonum obi ayi hansoni to I assure down sa Dominic ni chum Dominic ni chum dey na muti say you cannot even honya me kwan etide bia da yan kwa ya o man ho adwuma e wo mo ne favor mo e chum ho na oti eti wono meaning say bibia mpusu kra say obetwa breye na this has been there for God knows
terrible
God knows
now cut me
God knows
no one say yeah
God knows Mr. engineers no it is say chum to butilo ka so de bia da nsu ngiri begu na engineers dey ya bedwie yin afro no ma bedwie that be the obi we need to do something about it over 12-15 years this Hansonic Kaswa matter and Hansonic the answer na who say insuo to na say eta hosa na dia
oka be bom no say oka na bo amene
Mr. Empemfo a wono edi say adwuma de be sere enimeni me omuntu anamo na omuntimi ko hema nyoma entimi ento aso mai kama again obi mekwa kojina Ghana Water Company Limited for so Ningo Pram yes Ghana Water Company
so munya nsio issues be those
it's still worse
still Ningo Pram
some of the issues about which I doubt say media tum prekope but it's possible borrowed from Dr. Baumia and they say people think that it's a collaboration between said the issue say Bank of Ghana any from say abochi for Bank of Ghana for binumu no ene abochi for no e wa yonko fanti no de bia da sikani bank wo de na mu okọ abochi for no a ebinumu susu nsisi no ya akoye say Ningo Pram Ghana Water Company Limited no won ne sa tanker for no woni omo supply nsu no ayonko fa bia ema omo susu so again almost so opposite a twin so ba 10,000 Ghana cedi 10,000 so no enya electronic means how the payment ogidi nyina be we pay yourself akodi aban honom so ati ase nti eno so ho asem no aye nwonwo na anya omo hu so yi wakotua 10,000 so awie na omo me wa de ma no eno no eboachi bidin wo wie boachi bidin no ensuo nso ebefa drobe nim so aba so
no eno so another issue. But 10,000 omuntua Ghana Water.
There be omuntua Ghana Water, but the question is that electronic payment, you know, almost how omu receive sika no. They are doubting it because someone is saying if it is true that omutua as a deductions be what system the final product, you know, as what you are 10,000 so we see 8,000 6,000 you didn't go ya you didn't customer charges, book charges, evangelist charges, the charges. That's the way be that. You call a no. Johnny Granny feeding that it be a charge. You see, so there's a major challenge with everything we do in this country, and it can be changed. It's possible to change from all these vices na enye papa no. So what I say, I bet my TSC the right lane. To me draw my attention. Ningo no to almost 26 honum no or a challenge flat. Adanya intimate Ghana Water Company Limited. Ningo mesrem Ningo Pram mesrem. Momba clarifications na sa we ti waka o ne sa nyama no e wasem intimi. If we say tank no almost say insu ba ko bia no 150. Na insu no or the buy na within just be 1 week and 2 weeks depending on so yes water bill na eba no about 120 cedis for a whole month. Uko tank ibia within just 1 month no 150 miensa kwa na 450 Ghana cedi. So you can imagine again getting that tankers ne kwa so mo fasika insurance no and also another matter.
So no clean but that's also the more reason why I was say in service providers in the utua Ghana Water bill in fact I was happy I saw a headline about Reggie Raxton say my emblem Ghana fire service. I just loved it because
oti eche de bia da apart from say ka so munye innovative and creative no ya suggest cross anke be ya mantem bia no ye hwe say obia no ebe ye fundraising obia contribute it uba is like omo obi o oba chanta omo obi o oba ha because fire is key. It's key. So what you say a key and two obaka say dey so what you say
don't ever think say fire service personnel na some irresponsible
exactly omo fa hwe ho it be so in their challenges at that work now omo dey year adwuma kora for mother Ghana and you have no idea me maame ba akua chum okofro chum fire service okofro Bank of Ghana dan bi na say dia maame no okofro fire service na and no mind no share in the coin my name ye dear but there are a lot of things that high nyina adwuma ye teach your mind adwuma ye and ho adodo de no e me ntimi nya akukuduro emfa nya adwuma no e ma ne wie peyo
e da no ba ko frame ya no complain no say every quarter ye ma o rent allowance
yes e ma wo
en na me be kan
for years o
masa quarterly rent allowance from what ye ma bi
misre your service so your services security service needs there onyame anim ne kwani we need to pay extreme attention obi ana afenso ye na positive ase yewura your honu ne ye maame CID penny I've been following their conversations of late you will no tackle armed robbery ne assault ne nyoma ensem fatano na maame no so tackle stolen cars young boys big boys no so I imagine say eno an adwuma no be ye enti I'm happy so far almost me actually about 43 cars are stolen 43 so what I say it's a sign of improvement Canadian gain TV ehunhwe na omutu boys yi twefam say
no how is it possible for it to enter the system as an yakwache
me no nyina say unim say you corrupt
there's a point of entry no
na say ye car no kra na next year na say ye no dan me no what na almost 5 years back aka just say a man for the car next year ba no ma say ya ma ade no ye chiri o enso ahunsuo no ye no eti wo huna nkwanhia wodo nyina na esan se car no steer no kra no ba bia esi ne eni kwanse si e to the other side no na no so aye week na ko fan self for the abre de bia no bibini adwene sika eni nyoma ensem fata dan ono ane bra na obo no eni o man ne nkoso eti nyoma daily opposite o man ne hyehyɛ no e ho na bibini no interest because ura customs ura obi betima catch ura agent ye balance act no so trade duty e ho hyehyɛ so trade duty bi 1000 ubenya nkofo a e wa aban mu omutu aban tu omuka Ghana tu omuka maka just say 1000 no e betima twa nyina egu na aka 400 cities for 200 na me for 200 na for ntwa 600 nyina egu na e wie na say pre development how do we get that development that we want
now osan bracket
that's the point. It is very serious. Anyone bebre wo ha ukasa so ha no aso e doso de baby bebre sin to de baby bebre. Timisre asem bia ye ka wo ha bia senka ye mpanyimfo ne ya oman mu nkofo no ye tie dodo na nke di tu anamo a anka menyin ni se oman a cocoa diamond bauxite rosewood said yes and all other things gold ne dia kaka nyina e kro bia ti say no den ye kwa ho kire mu a ye ntimi nya basic yi den na ya dofo ye ma ye nana no ntimi koka ye Memphis na ye de omo ba den na bitimi koka UK na ye de omo ba aden ye no ane sempa na me wo man it is a some challenge yanti ye ho ase ansesa adwene na eda ya yetirimu na adwene ne se
de bia kwesi ko
ojira kwantia adwene ne se me party ne wo so ti se pa se memma me ye nyoma se fata ama metimedi nkunim da bia nya ne kure enyoma me party wo so a enyoma ne emra ne bo ebranko ana me ye nso abefa me wadi befa me wadi a kopem se aban foforo beba no enti na de bia da ne ye kire na kwa witch hunting no if we say nipa wa aban we mu nipa wa aban ba akunim na omo ye mfomso sa bere no ye ntimi mpa amwa na yoko ni ho na national security ni ho na OSP ni ho na NIB ni ho.
You can forgive all the other agencies but OSP na ye ka say omo no for truly independent prosecutions of corruption no yemfa OSP mra ono de sa aban no power aban ni power obetimi ago ono mpo atwen am aban no free power asana all
well and that is also an issue. Another issue and the enemy strings we that conversation but no crying people are still calling for CN scrap OSP no. I don't see another school of thought. Or Johnny say, Shirajane, can serious fraud officer, Yoko. Now, who say Yoko Penica say, and never be a corruption related to crime. Why waste precious young famra, Yoko, money, young famra, Yoko. So what I say, Obi, can you name a serious fraud officer? Ghana, dear, your dear won't be blue. Say, your job for the boys, we are pretending because Office of Accountability, Professor Mills Spencer and President Kufo Penso, and Senator 3 wise men, Obi had this office, never share as well. Now I'm beginning to see that it's not just about the names and other agencies. No, ya say na provincial and country say what do you show for drobinuma ekwa kusita mali moment how the petrol be fem no na enko na apem adentia enye nipa da ye adwuma no mama chia o provincial there Edwin provincial doctor right doctor Edwin baby obi am chia no another hard working young man and also no oba boss too I'm sure baby will be a very solid guy. A son say on mine crown, winner takes all na ekunya besinena, ye na antokwesi, ubiatina konyenum, I know that's a konyenum, Mr. EC, I know that's a two will betray, and then airport mammy, when common crown for one alcohol. Because Obi, if you have provincial, Minkasa will be a brewman in the see a chichiro my pa. Yeah, wholesale obianko. Sometimes there are real people in the system. They bear that me too chairman Mr. Easy. They bear that. I don't want to hear or know his political affiliation. Nanya sem na ba baby otia odi jumano. Senya manyo sem phone ya ya na fra baby public service ma. A person like AC, you think that Ghana yin no. Why? We should get to that level. To say those times. One. Mami, me President Kufuor Induma. We sometimes want to discourage 100% Mima Bankwan also. And I've seen this commentary running for a month to say airport mama no say we betray wine. One sector ben person be impo abandon in Sabeka local government services in paying for that service. If you look at the lives of Callistus and Wakwe, very intelligent person. Other local government say udu oduma untimi fa wonya amanyo yourself. It dear pa mimi da ko de no FD. Yes, solid. One of the best in the world. Solid. If you only say why should you change him because aban the word is there be obi to say Professor Dodu you know what Ghana Standard Authority. He is one of the best in the world though in his field in the world. In the Yawasanko for now, sanity. We need to let them sanity as long as align with the vision of the new sanity. Let them stay because they have a blueprint. Sanity. Cocoa border. There is a cocoa board plan. Say they turn around cocoa board strategy. I can't believe it. And no at the see you be it's a strategy document that you would implement. I can't believe it. We should get to that level. I can't believe it. So FDA. Yeah, 7-year development plan for FDA. Nipa wo bia would go by that and do it. And for us we should get to that level. See if we say Martin you see a system person. He at 20 years and Minerals Commission. He's been there. He understands Minerals Commission inside out. Nobi. If he is maintained, I'm telling you, see, so will be three slogan crowd. Me am one po. They should. I say so money at Tino maybe as you. Missy Mammy crown Onyasu no Nasumun you know. This woman at the whatever airport. But I'm surprised or one what they call that original. Too much. But Obwa, I'm a Jumano. I Ghana Juma, I NDC Juma, and Timin Koya MPP Jumano, Obwa Manajana, Yan Tibribia Dano, Saquanya Beto Crase, and net ye redo for an bit my finance minister MPP, a Pensocrato, ye mouse, sensitive position of Mount Fine, Juma Wagana, because we are not truthful to ourselves. To the extent that security in paying for leaking information when they are not in power, don't patch or public information. Why? How do we build the country to move forward then? How?
Your loyalty as a security person is to the state, not a political party. In fact, all citizenry. What's your oath? The moment you are born in Ghana, and kofa when cause me kwabana sante me share but say the far half ubia no free half jitum say untimi nkan nyoma ensem fatamfa afo ho emfa kwabe ho emfa kumahu say untimi nka sa de man emfa sa mia say free a subset of Ghana e na akoka Ghana ho ensem fata.
And let's know that citizens' fidelity to the country and not to a political party. It will help. And then in our career orientation now, we need to stay the course. That hard line. But let's stay it. You who say nipa way. As a country, the ensure any new world class baby. And if we get already companies are world class, we are struggling. Human resource here world class, we have a few. And for some few world, because Ubenya Ghana ni unim say in this field, Ghana ni way among the best in the world. Onu unya ne so mesomo man na. Akwai professor from Pom Boatin bad those times I know cardio surgeon no. He was one of the best in the world. Into understand unya na. You make sure say the country should benefit from him.
They be at the try see e say eboa Ghana nyuma manager na no kana of and the papers you come say me who say Zoom line was saying baby where African countries
yes.
A lot
of African countries.
Are we saying that when you do research almost huge companies are all over the world there was nothing to write to say ometimenya bonibia ebetimi affect some companies but you look at the bigger picture it's not to encourage anybody to misbehave
you correct
those things what is it and then me can buy example at extinct cubic eruption no the next what we do is we move a step further and 22 steps backwards. And
we don't see that scrutiny, no. When it's a foreign company, I don't understand that.
No, be can't ministry, sir. Oh, no, you're gonna need this year, no. Sebi, yankasa o ji ho ho amana ko ayem from so. But I tell you, the treatment to ho na wabano. To you as a Ghanaian, the difference is overly big.
Spirit, a big. That spirit where we open our doors, aid foreign companies to establish and flourish in Ghana.
Yes, yeah, man, all the assistance.
And we are overly critical when it's a Ghanaian company. I don't understand. I don't understand. And it's a spirit. I was say a society.
You can't be because papa.
It's not.
So
if we should be intentional about building companies, first it should be Ghanaian companies. But all the foreign companies in Ghana, or more embassies in Ghana, they push your more interest.
Of course.
They are pushing their interest.
Of course.
They have you at heart. No. More market, they are coming to get everything and take back to their country. One to mean establish our amount for country.
Debbie.
Wow, country moves one I don't understand.
The only crowd on the crown one on your ma. Ube fema sani yaji kitua bi nikra tum kran. But obia the market.
We've not built multinational companies. Their companies are here in Ghana. We have just a population of 35 million. Yes, sir. If we also deliberately put blockades our Ghanaian company, I don't understand where that spirit is from.
Well, Obi, the National Security for Pamchomunti Refugee Society or Association or agency in Ghana Munti. And then I'm who says a board chair a crowfroom honorable Zuma. Board chair.
For refugees board.
Yeah, Munti. Now Ministry of gender ministry any social say a subset social welfare muntie na Ghana funds muntie nipa timi kosese nipa free a tifi mantem and I say outside Ghana e de ne ba say mombe stress sika mombe pretend say mo yare na enyumire bia no mombe sales the number has kept on increasing up to this point. It's a threat now and the whole of this country omuntimi ntu ana mo ya na da na ono ba nhwe kasa media go na o stress o mind was there be onipa wofu sebe wofu adoa wonim nyina kansi a yenhu bibia na ye de tube ahyehye ohunim ene okom ene wofum na wo begina kwa. Why do we do this?
And also crowd your moon.
Where do we do this? Now, on my offer pantan kwanswa. Dioti a wheelchair muno. Meka on fi free Madina Reach Junction. Aba pantan kwanso ti wheelchair mu. Atam blog ne more hammer. And now they blog or Philippoto. This is the country we are in. This is the country we are. And obia twem or wheelchair mu. Pantai. Before the hospital. Tell no Madina Reach Junction. And we feel Madina Reach Junction there no. On any team bear 3B. Or ma feel bear there. Na me no me do okra na me ntia siasa assembly ni kra Pantai as I talk to na Pantai oko Pantai this year Sadwin Ekoso. Or the wheelchair mu. Now no wheelchair na okofa mo hama na wafa or the blocks or the break. Car be break it for so the wheelchair mu. Ebe no wetima ye nwajuma. And we are looking on carelessly. Nobody cares. That's the danger now.
Assemblies,
no. So I don't know how our assemblies can be effective. They can really work to say, Obi, now assemblies, see, they be make offer Abokobi from Agboba police station container. Oko use Abokobi Kwani Street. Mia ECG for business your more office when you now. But I buy my 2 ECG for them or more raise your more say. Obi, I just a source toss. Show me some once it's stores this across. So show them top nature form so then they come back to government and say the government is insensitive to the plight of Omo. Who told you that? Assemblies, you are looking on helplessly because we have politicized everything. To taking a decision in this country becomes difficult. Until a greater ground me pay no. You will suffer the consequences as a party person there. But you first not because my money not our se anamona wu omutu oramsia site no esusanso no emma nipa ba kopeso eba yina so why are they also resisting he for na mass akwanya no emma you develop what to that point why
nananom se nananom bi ko eko ogun san ho ko ye
goodness
say ye bubu omo dan ne ade and no mo compare regional minister with the former regional minister ya so edin a country of 34 million yama country now to say a young governor body president Nigeria president
wow Mr. Ramsey said na I don't know as a soldier for the police for the obi kuno mo piano mo twena say no when you practice an illegality with impunity you have the courage to even go and face them say one minute that courage you know and that foolish ignorance no and then am obi akwatena ubemu a ono kika ne ensem fatanche police for Ghana police for mo lift mo game na up kakra sometimes teach us lessons as Ghana police for now you people take Ghana police for granted too much
and my emphasis in your education and for more how video no there is this video a young man be after Uber and offer Uber I think a police officer upon reasonable suspicion stopping and person search na be hwa kwa no menim say afen wan enroll wo law faculty
I mean go kasa kwa no no go kasa and a criminal jurisprudence
so first year
and
law
said
what and ansem bi okeka the ignorance was shocking and okwa comment no social media am for oh this guy is bold
that is what we do in this country
like really for the questions he was asking say police and not police in never search no
on share gloves
na police in share gloves na police you know or your rank be
only right
or be search no only right I was like really police need right or be search mama let me take you to act 30 in the phobia onim no act 30 criminal procedure act
okay
in the lecture say obi commit crime
when
good in the OSHA section 93 in fact 92 first in the 92 they have provisions applicable to search warrant but 93 good applies to this one on all fours or say search without a warrant in certain cases where articles are being conveyed etc. In the articles here, no man article here, BB utimi a move from one place to the other. And you say search without a warrant in certain cases where articles are being conveyed. Or say, and me person would say the wording of section 93. You know, now you're just opposite to some other guy in the video. Whenever a police officer, we were rank biya. Whenever a police officer has reasonable cause to believe that any article which has been stolen unlawfully obtained, or in respect of which a criminal offense has been, is being, or is about to be committed, and being conveyed, or is concealed or carried on any person in a public place, or is concealed or contained in a package in a public place for the purpose of being conveyed, then in any such case, if the police officer considers that the special exigencies of the case so require, he may, without a warrant or other written permission, oh God,
so most importantly, reasonable suspicion.
Upon reasonable suspicion.
At all times.
At all times.
Not sometimes. At all.
At all times.
Okay. So me drive me share me call. Me do achimota.
Yes.
Poti for ejina me.
Yes.
Me busa adena ujina me.
Adena ujina me.
Yeah.
Adena obese.
Adena obese.
You don't have that right. And if the police upon reasonable suspicion, a suspect say oh bibi wa car ni mu a, en wo say wo car ni mu a, obetimi ase.
You said to me
without a warrant. Without a warrant. And you say search without a warrant in certain cases where articles are being conveyed.
Okay.
And maybe you are conveying those articles in a vehicle upon reasonable suspicion, which must stop our search.
Okay.
Without a warrant.
Okay.
And I'm not say a police officer.
One can rank.
Where the rank conversation is section 94, which is search of premises without a warrant.
Obi
shop, obi baby. And now we hear warrant, but no say without a warrant, you need to be of a certain rank. Or say any police officer not below the rank of assistant superintendent of police. On no betima ba ofie abeseti ofie without a warrant. And it say you ofie premises, ofie shop near there is rank.
Okay.
But say when articles are being conveyed in a car any there and when yet no rank.
Okay.
And the guy in that video was completely ignorant. Completely ignorant.
They really restrained.
Yeah,
because it was BBB and everyone in
the distance. But what you do, you pay attention to the search.
This is all you know.
Pay attention.
Said
the police need to incriminate you by dropping something in your car.
Hey, they are capable.
You understand? And you pay attention. But to say on question gloves, was or officer be of a certain rank, and or no busa police in the class say why a man is direct his own message. And I can't even believe it. It's on friend superior no why a man is directive, Really? The law doesn't say that respectfully.
Okay.
India police officer upon with reasonable cause.
Reasonable.
Okay,
we'll be sure that next young person can was anyway, young wishy Tomian Force in 70 years.
Oh,
yeah, Tommy
the legendary broadcaster.
Yeah, Tommy and Forsen. Wow. And to him, I wish him. Nipano wabesum Ghana, in their capacity and choosing profession. In Monsum Ghana, Monsum Ghana, mon friend and mon wishing well. At 70, he still looks very good and very strong.
Yeah, and we appreciate. We trailblazers.
The role I will be play for a year Ghana. It's just fantastic.
Amazing, amazing stuff.
Obianko ya kwanso na afi.
Ba man me pacho. Oni sansan na eri akwanso de beba no. Enne me kan baby say National Identification Authority. Penyin a okasama won anaso in charge of corporate affairs. Ya ye nua Dallas Ampoma Williams. Me kan baby say why media briefing be enne. But I thought say issues are no raising the issues it was a amplify. Very, very important. Unim say NIA enye subvented organization. And the subvented are for more in nimino enye edwumaku aban ene tria omo workers ka omo IGF no mudi tria omo hoka
sika omo ankasa e bo omo bra no mudi tria
ene omo tria omo hoka enti say omo ye adwuma ma other state agencies na state agencies na ntria omo ka e ha adwen. And in this case it came up say mama demand notice after demand notice e be a GRA e be your friend is saying passport office e be a Ministry of MOFA, Food and Agric. Just say other NHIA, other state agencies no muhia verification as only omedi juma. It will compare NHIA card. I was say a man will call Odo tampering kosi bibi so na verify on near de. Sa agencies in na say juma na NIA they provide service that and they have to pay them.
They are not
try. As we speak, Oma disconnected GRA. It is a ukoya juma bi o GRA enne. I hear so be verification na omo ntimi nye.
But there should be reasonable agree.
Masa Oman demand notice more than 1,000.
Namu ka we na ECG na namu wono. Parliament na se foka namu se hospital ko na. But na nye so nim say nye.
Oma demand notice na the na metria. So utwam.
Na say interbank. We interbank rate
nkomo na odi. In fact, almost say by 30th of this month. Say NI any passport officer metria metwa omu nyina omu di. It will call passport
how
officer.
Do we sit?
Then they should go and pay.
But how obi na make say nhye tio
maybe na make count
me tiwa se yabo nkaye what you say it baby you a step further will do but not say we withdraw
as we speak the GRA o matwam
but enye
the o kwa GRA
what Ghana loses today
but they should go and pay
ba obi na se nka na sa keke why you adwuma wo sa mia you nka na sa keke obi tam ya bam 20 million no atwe no wo da ko bam
but to say me ba hwe demand notice from the NIA 29th April 2025. The final demand notice indebtedness under the National Identification System of the National Identification Authority. Final demand. In ways
but I'm saying that
final demand notice,
there are so many ways to ensure say government operation will run smoothly whilst whatever anybody owes you know, is properly for. But no be
after final demand notice, NIA is indebted to 58 million Ghana cedis. But how do they pay their staff?
Okay, maybe Wadaruma. Let's look at the bigger picture. There's a certain irresponsible act on behalf of the companies now. But that act, no be. And and you can say the bigger picture Ghana and so far. Why am I saying this? Let's say Obi, yeah, negotiations were the final point of a year.
Final demand.
Masa, ba. We need the try to a catch say. When there's a one to be near Ghana. Yes, your commitments. Yes, your komubu. So there's a certain irresponsibility there which needs to be explained how we have arrived at that irresponsibility. But for the sake of governance, and its operations, which will affect Ghana bigger than what we owe the NIA right now. No? There should be some kind of behind the scenes conversation that will smoothen the trust that within the shortest possible time. All what I'm saying is that sensitive places like GRA, Ghana passport, passport. How do we say we are off for a day or two? How? You support that?
Yeah, I think so. I think agencies should be responsible.
But that is why I'm saying that irresponsibility should not be borne by us. The impact on Ghana and good governance is huge than this. So people who are irresponsible in that chain,
the state, or answer the citizens, should now direct their pressure onto these agencies.
But that inconvenience, completely to see. GRA, wow, say, and no qua, business is not going. Who is losing? Ghana,
Osei final letter. I'm going to say suspension of identity verification.
No.
I write on behalf of the NIA to regrettably inform you that following NIA's final demand notice dated 29th April and subsequent letter dated 15th July and titled Notification of Misuse and Discontinuation blah 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 blah, the Ghana Revenue Authority access to NIA's identity verification will be suspended effective 1st August. Oba suspended and they won't mean identity verification GRA. Into a munkotia, a canisson. But NIA will also collapse. They have to pay them.
But that's why I'm saying that. But that's why I'm saying that.
Among demand notice, and there's no even response to acknowledge demand notice.
Well, that impunity, and so and I make us say, Minka say,
end of month, NHIA, NIA, passport office, any MOFA, they will be off.
They can't.
They will be.
They should not
go and pay.
But I don't know why it's so rigid and strict on this matter.
The same thing amount for the ECG, ECG. It is not good. Why would you use power and you don't pay? At the state agency. Why?
Also, there's a certain status could be the day I know I can watch it.
It's not good.
But look at the bigger picture. That's what I'm saying. Anybody's irresponsible act should not be borne by yen. What we go through today, as a result of yen timia negotiating crowd behind the scenes, I'm a final deadline to CCA2 and a mobile. That is the price we are paying. And the papa for us.
I understand.
So don't also encourage say and the end in your crown passport, papa.
Because
papa
GRA car modeno 376 million. 376 million GRA. But how do you expect NIA to survive? 366 million, one company. No. Also mucham. Now one chama, how would they survive? Well, they have to pay staff. Any subvented agency. I support the management on this one. GRA, NHIA, Ghana passport, go and pay your indebtedness.
Well, I also support.
At least you can go into a payment plan. No,
exactly my point. That's why I'm saying that people should that irresponsible act. Well, that irresponsible act needs to be explained. Why? Yet me last notice. Not still one comply and one coalition negotiations. It end them is Obi so made the man over to I'm surprised that the wire tough for
they have to go and pay, man. And that's why government agencies will provide service. No, they are seriously.
So we are at this point. How do we solve it? Because any first, any last. How do we solve this? You be close down. You be treat your more free platforms. So sana, it's on 1 day, 2 days. We have to now you suffer. Now you normal. Now we could take a crib. Now we say now inconvenience. So we should just allow people to be acting responsibly in their capacities, and then all of us will suffer the consequence.
Then we now have to direct pressure to where the pressure should go to. And maybe respectfully the chief of staff and so etimi emrem there should be some benchmarks. Maybe they measure these agency heads. You can't be run agencies irresponsibly. Say another government agency provide a service. I'm out to Yama final demand notice. What Nasiam Yababecha system. Now who does that? It's not cool. But now GRA reform say omo bejo more taxes or man for omo gaba. Yama gaba. Now the obi de ka umpezo obitria. Would you be it's not fair.
Okay, so what we have to agree is
they need money.
You
have to pay.
Can we also suggest to them say almost with the approach now managers of these entities and taking up that responsibility seriously?
Yes.
No one taking it for granted.
They have to. Because a critical service, our verification is very critical. Untimin konya passport without the verification. Untimin konya NHIA card without the verification. In a critical service, they should pay them and let the system run.
Okay, so quickly. These are some of the commentaries, and then I'm sure that we could also share our opinion on it.
Okay.
On Sam George DSTV saga. Okay. Look at some of the commentaries. Okay. Sam George comes off as overzealous and exuberant. That's lawyer Victor Kwajoga Adawood urges the minister to reassess DSTV's position and pursue a more balanced and equitable resolution. That's or not what he believes.
Okay.
So Uba Fuseni Issa,
yes,
former member of parliament,
former MP.
Will the NCA revoke DSTV's licenses if they don't introduce prices by 30%, reduce price by 30%, and questions the implications of the minister's directive to DSTV? Fuseni Issa, and then Parliament summoning the communication minister over the multi-choice subscription and all other matters. If you go to more and more X, casually we glance through social Facebook.
I will look at it from two angles. So number one, the legal angle. By the legal angle, there is an agreement between NCA and DSTV because NCA and regulate almost never license. And for such agreements, they are not termination clauses. Termination clause ne chere nyoma we ya you bet ma terminating and as you revoke your license. Sa nyoma no, does it include pricing? If it doesn't include pricing, then the ekos no nyina yedede.
Nshishaya NC any DSTV wono say krata ni mu no
we say they revoke your license.
Sa nshishaya kwan enforce me revoke license no say etua yetua bosumi bia ho nshishaya eka ho ana enka ho dia edede ne ye.
And I say, Bia, Utumi for to me or raw cow for, but in the abetimi, and this are 2 minutes on our raw cow. But I will come Remudia, I will see you go back
to what we agreed.
Neoma Ben, I'm a ya. A bit from me revoke him a license.
Okay.
Does it include my price? And if not, another conversation.
Okay.
Number 2. Oman say the Ghanaian is naturally very docile. The Ghana for no yempay yemwasem. And oko amanonea African countries omonko for amanonea. No opa omo ni issues kra Ghana rank amongst the top 2. Inti who need issues cry. You understand? And unfortunately, man, because of your upbringing, any other.
Minister OJ.
Yeah, Minister OJ. Influence. Say nipa be Minister of State. Now was so going into negotiations. And was so taking companies on behalf of Ghana. And the companies never Ghana. And let's be frank. Multinational companies back Ghana. Charlie, omu was so you say, oh, but on say omu country, they profile the country. Say Ghana for the Yemuha, we can Ghana, you know, for no jam. That is for me the good thing in all of this. Now we have a minister, or what that self-confidence. I mean, self-confidence can sometimes be misconstrued as arrogance. As to say some jobs, you know, you misconstrue, and I say naturally or some arrogant trait to be another conversation.
Okay.
But me, I think, sir, we have somebody in that ministry Otimi standing up to a multinational company, which is very positive. And it is something we should build in the Ghanaian people. In the how they approach any other, we can have that conversation. But for me, it's positive, sir. What shows how there is somebody who can stand up to multinational companies on behalf of the Ghanaian people. But is he using the right approach? Can we revoke the license of multi-choice Ghana based on a price? And as I said, saying multi-choice and so the statement ever out. No, man. Unfortunately, I must say this: the minister raised certain issues about a comparative analysis across other African countries. Almost statement did not respond to any of the issues a minister raised. So a vague statement, I say generally statement be.
They are rather looking at the minister's approach towards conversation. The minister cannot no idea.
Yeah, but I think that for the trust of the public now, the minister raised specific issues. Your statement should be seen addressing those specific issues. But when generally say because of the economic condition in the country.
Well, that's why the ministers read at back. They say, economic managers of the country. Well, in the midst of all this, I fully support your prescription. All that I will say is, Minister Ajobro Kakra, you say Ghana for my year, you want to acknowledge it. But it also doesn't mean that we'll be we appreciate your style when it comes to how you are dealing with this matter to ensure, say, sanity be prevail. Foreign companies now are more abusing and taking advantage over us. We love the approach. In as much as we love the approach, I have but we need them. And our implication legally, just like what we're about. Problem to the minister say they're all here. Especially in this particular situation, we appreciate it. We fully support him, but we think that he can also open up for other angles to the solution. Because Sikana yetia for a month, DSTV function tias, multi-choice function tias, Nyamienimi, Ebra Genene, and Tiasieso, and most of our stuff.
A country more than 20%. Living in abject poverty. Should DSTV in common a dominating conversation?
Well, unfortunately for us, no, Obi.
A choice.
Unfortunately for us. Unfortunately for us, because we've not built our own systems. Nanka premier, ejinaswa manabroswa. Anka attention for other premiers, even though the last for other premiers, even though DSTV stronghold in Anakoye
football.
Of course. Strong part. Most of them. Okay. Oh, very good. Many problems.
More than 20% of us are living in abject poverty.
No, Obi.
We should be concentrating on Sanya.
But no,
Esika 40 moment in Musika. Number some EPL. Let the STV say to you say never.
Any premier in Usika Kochumo. Only Capre. Eso DSTV. It's a premier.
We are DSTV be our Capre, me pacho.
Obi DSTV. There be.
And also more packages.
No, on fact the football packaging. until you minimum the bouquet no de wakonya
say bouquet ni your family your access and on the board
me na me tia na make catch say
premium
no offer 950 say 850
pay premium and access wo ho no and a family wo ho and no 150 ni 120 wo benya bia
na family that achi that ehwe family no wo be kono
go TV and him wo it run
multi TV so in fact the other aspect of it is that government should also government should also support those brands the local brands the engineer brand because obi for TV station cross English Premier no na metim dia ton ma de that's where all a new one no any sika nyina no akogina anything about this ankomo about I supported that ehia bubro no man no edem it by now we should be thinking about how feed Ghana be adwuma koko ntumu ne be block here for and I support it but it's part of the conversation be boa ama edemetima cost so we finally on roads any nan say the accidents ahodo eba in fact the last 3 year too much obogu na asante achim de no sorry for the 16 yeah I'm telling you na no da ye no echi he yanso mami for me quickly overhead na food bridges na wo Madina ne condition adane market food bridges no adane market obi you be kan wasem later remember Benghazi akotwa ni na so that we can have a proper conversation around it but we know there kwada maku dunsia na san kwanhia we etimi asi no the more we ye kwan ni yini kra no the more na kwanhia ho asem eba the more we ye kwan yi the more na kwanhia ho asem inti a driver for ku passenger for wona eye kwan no mesre all of us hands on deck na yentimi nhwe because breadwinners we bullion van if you adwureba opposite form you nhwe omonkwa just because of obi carelessness
and ya dan for back when
you go post 26 or so years no just because of obi it impacto I'll tie this one in with a food bridges na than marketplace nyame ya dema okuada every time be my doctor and there be masana kai that of free in case ye discuss hotels ne boy ye den or my education say ye nkasa sa say ni doc akwa ba fichapa we the just about
so my so ye me here some segment AC medan me ho aba me ba Dr. Randy Abe in our studios or ye CEO of Ghana Cocoa Board. You didn't come on after this short break. Stay with us.
Na sentence dia kesi Ghana for the power jet battery hono ye no kware o fisa me to me kai ma se battery be ye wo ko sisa me discover power jet battery what me kai nya me si kwa mu bi me ni battery issue to kwanta pa ye o enti se dia me power jet battery ambassador me mo na nkofo ka kwa so ma me jump o mo de na makamfo power jet battery mo hu se battery mu gwa hodo power jet car battery the Roxen Ventures na ko fa ba o mo Shalom Sport runabout wo community 18 Sprinters Road Felmo 0208090789 and 0242314774. Obenye binsu wa shama kuwana so Ochinenti Enterprise. Afi battery shop biya wabuso kumase kwame choba Enterprise pampaso and na battery shop biya waswame mazi ama kwa Macro Junction every kaswa kwa Winneba Junction Swedro Magazine takwa de jasaba biya Power Jet Battery Day Power Jet Car Batteries put that day.
Every dream starts with a prayer, and every prayer ends with a promise. Because of a small investment made years ago, a proud parent's dream of seeing their child graduate becomes a proud reality. Even in retirement, these investments continue to grow, creating the freedom to live and laugh well, and to support the next generation with exciting and inspiring new business ventures. At Blue Financial Services, we turn your smallest deposits into life-changing returns. From first steps to life's greatest milestones, Blue Financial Services is with you. Dream bigger, trust deeper. Visit Blue Financial Services today. Your future starts now.
Call us on 0303-968-196. WhatsApp us on 0501-609-958. Visit our website at www.bluefs.com.gh.
Ecobank Mobile, they make me say, oh yeah. Ecobank Mobile, they make me crazy. Download it and use it. It gon' make your life so easy, yeah. Oh yeah. Download it. You go enjoy up in my Ramen chain. In my Ramen chain. Come make a download them for you. Cause you can pay bills, you can buy credit, you can pay school fees, even just tights with the Apple. Ecobank Apple.
Life is easy with the Ecobank mobile app. You can pay your bills, transfer to and from mobile wallet, virtual card creation, transfer to other banks, express account opening, scan and pay, express cash, all at your fingertips with the Ecobank mobile app. You know, it's 5-star life with Ecobank. Kim promise.
When I day home and want something quick to chop, everything day inside, groundnut milk and sugar. I only need some water, so kiss me easy, oh. Keep carry me, eat a bio, chop am anywhere, eat a bio, keep carry for your office, boarding house, everything day inside, groundnut milk and sugar. I only need some water, so kiss me easy, oh. Keep carry me, eat a bio.
Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Soakings are easy. This advert is
Hey, you're the up and coming landlord. Who died yes where you?
Kwame, I don't mean you. Aka roofing and a ceiling. Na me contract anonso so say. Me feni na enkodan rocksters. Wonso wo kromo pan. Wo dwen ho sen.
Wo contract an won nimne akọ. Ghana ha de eba no quality metal trusses, roofing sheet, plasterboard and POP ceiling dia. Aye rocksters. Enfie bebre ni na rocksters. Ade roofing sheet papa ene ho aka de asum Ghana for.
Enka yesi ya no mu die nso ebo.
Eni adufudi achi na nkoto ade bone ne Sundachi. Fre 0544338041. Say your metal trusses, roofing sheet, plasterboard and POP cylinder. Fre rocksters na won chawuntum.
Frustrated with outdated banking experiences? You deserve an app that makes your life easier, not harder. Say hello to the CBG mobile app, your new cool way to handle everything banking. With biometric security, lightning fast mobile money access, and one-touch bill payments, banking has never been this smooth. Stop imagining when you can live a life where your entire banking world is in your pocket, ready whenever you need it. No stress, no fuss. Don't settle for less. Experience a more superior, convenient way of banking today with the CBG mobile app. Banking made cool, fast and secure. Welcome to the good life. CBG. We stand with you.
Sasso, come tonton prego. Sasso, come tonton prego. Ebana drum in your possession. Yeah, how can see all in malaria? We know the phone and it's a so spray. Every mosquito started run away. Come tonton prego. Sasso, ise come tonton preko. Come tonton preko. Sasso, come tonton preko. Na ni sham ne die demonstranko.
This advert is FDA approved.
Hello, Ghana
for bills are canning hubiamo. Bills set 2025 idea. Any da so homo bia wati wakwa. Oni ejumaye. Ain't if I when it bills. Na beji loan na ubeti media ya wow ejuma. Wey loan don't come me. Wun yashio. Nye wun hiane wu Ghana card. Ewa na wun saka usika. Na sa we obi a we wow ejuma upese wutremu. Anasa we ejume niya. Uchi busumi ya ketria. And your bill set bray. Na beji lona. Wun fe BS yawa. Collateral. Anasa deposit. Wun hiemu bia. Ain't ya fade bill se si obi a wun ejume bia ye. Ubetumi abeji loan don't come inubi. Na sa wut's nefie na we nye sika nubi dia. Eye wow. Ain't different bills se siya. It was 0596-920-833. Ana 0302-200-390. Na wetumi yawo bills. Name HSA kakrawo. Bank of Ghana and Sasha Bills Microcredit HSA. Bills, financing your needs.
Ewra, me pacho bra na me hwa de wo bagi.
Bra, aden, enen so biem.
Hey, time heba me hye ya me kan se yi ba kun. Ani wayi me ensen.
Bra, sanya time heba me hya esia gyemi ni me fiefo enya de abaako ebeso yen.
We de udi se ofa ni nyina.
Time heba me hya me kasa me di one dance ya heaven ena de mekwa akopie. Enti se malaria we draw ne time heba me hya.
Enye enunku o, de nanum oto a wontimi anidie no. Time heba me hya duro no ena ye ma wo. Oba a wafa afuro de wo ma akwada no fo. Ene akwada woni mfie dumienu entimi num aduro yi bi. Se obeto aduro yi bi anoma, hwe se wakọ hospital anase lab ama yehu se wo 3D malaria yi bi ansa. Se upetam heba misha enuri dudu etu a, fo ani kire KNG Herbal Center ewo Emrom Abidjan House. Ana ba ko so wo Atonsu Monaco Junction.
Eno echi ubenya bi atowo over the counter medicine sellers. Ene herbal shop dodo na emu.
Fre 0244 417669.
Kayo set time no TIME. Time herbal mixture. Afi malaria fever bi adani ziba ewo munu betu akọ.
FDA agi adwade nkratu yi at
Ekosiisen On Asempa FM. Ekosiisen On Asempa FM. Obi nebado biba obibo obiba ode Asempa na bo. Obi nebado biba obibo obiba ode Asempa na obi nie Ekosiisen nie Bonsu awo mene sempa de brane mamba obi so
Masomo Asempa 94.7 FM Ekosiisen dwumedi no asoguso a otie na ma yenamu nyina asene mama kwaba ensign famomra Ekosiisen dwumedi. So check with your time, 38 minutes after 3. Yere kind of to manim say yene Dr. Randy Abe or a CEO at the Ghana Cocoa Board ABD and Komonyame adom abekansa ewo studio ansa na mema na kwaba no more pair brand new and as used iPhones ato and as we hear repairs iPhone ni be dada problem about how person repair amount me pacho EBA phones and accessories has got you covered. EBA phones and accessories. A moment of very flexible installment plans. Just 40% down payment. Where you here collateral be into my 40% down payment. You bet me the phone no amount. Na wetua dia kano en kakra unhia guarantor bia. So all you need is your Ghana card and proof of employment. You the Ghana card bring na ebia so you be a we adwuma we dwumem letter yede efa we dwuma me chese we adwuma wo company A and company B no. Now the Ghana card na hoko okwa say iPhone 15 Pro Max now per 16 Pro Max now per okwa no akwa koyi ukoyi bia utua 40% down payment de aka no na ya spread the amount en kakra and I say what dwen ho say we be start our phone business and so yes I was special wholesale packages at the new dealers nyina Enti yawo cycle inside American Mall. Kumasi nso yawo Edum Ejekum building opposite Mikado Plaza. Ofre ya frɛ 0597 342 168 0597 342 168 and 0597 042 990 0597 042 990 on Facebook and our TikTok we may follow EBA Phones and Accessories at EBA Phones and Accessories. In the EBA Phones uti wondia they are affordable, reliable and right around the corner. In the motion and so my mobile phone Saturday and yama owning a mobile phone, especially iPhone, ababe very easy. 40% down. They are spreading the account no trian and kakra. The uhiya your Ghana card, any proof of employment, you are good to go. Now wait to me and your one so phone a yusu. Sinomi noodles. Open noodles and kola epe, emape, memape, obia epe, a sinomi noodles. Try it and you would love it. There were 2 flavors, chicken flavor and a vegetable flavor. The flavors are nice and everyone love it. Sinomi noodles, taste it and love it. Sinomi noodles, try it and love it. Opese utududu ekokotonwa. Fre 0243 399 999. It is 0243 39 99 99 and at 0543 49 44 54 0543 49 44 54 nepe sinomi noodles nibi netumi etogana fo agiatum pa menka enada monso a moye bosomi adwuma woye wa adwuma anasa woton ade me pacho ohie ska de ahye wa adwuma bosomi aso aketua mai ba uhie ska bi de atwa ho animanim he ya me pacho oni Blue Financial Services Ghana Limited enin komo omo the blue loans aba a very fast, very flexible and very affordable financing way. It's tailored to meet your needs. No long queues, no stress, just the support you deserve when you need it most. It is free. Blue Financial Services CCR it was 0303 968 196 0303 968 196. Obetma send you a WhatsApp message 0501 609 958 0501 609 958. Blue Financial Services, trust in blue. Dr. Randy Abe akwa abanete saying
yeah
Bibi aboko
nyame adum
wow
adum
isi ache
yes what
koko boko there
I'm do na nyame adum nti bia
very well inti a lot of questions. In fact share artwork na enra no nkofo inbox me with questions,
right.
Unbelievable,
right.
And then so na yete say more announcing new producer prize,
yes.
And okay,
yes,
the yehu online and okay,
and okay,
okay. And let me read exactly what I saw online relative to announcement. Almost say government 5
if I'm aiming for we move
okay
minister release.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. In a way, government announces producer price of cocoa for the 2025-2026 cocoa season. Also, the producer price review committee on cocoa under my chairmanship met and agreed on the producer price of cocoa for 2025-2026 season, which opens on Thursday, 7th August 2025. In a Thursday we are.
Yes.
Subsequent to this meeting, government is pleased to announce an increase in the producer price of cocoa from $3,100 per ton to $5,040 per ton. It is instructive to note that government has by this decision increased the producer price significantly by 62.58% in US dollar terms. This increase in the producer price represents 70% of the gross free on board value of $7,200 per ton and aligns with President Mohammed's promise to pay cocoa farmers 70% of the FOB price. It is significant to note that for the 2024-2025 cocoa season, the previous NPP administration set an FOB value of $4,850 per ton of cocoa, and the producer price at $3,100, representing 63.9% of FOB, even though the world market price at the time was much better. The gross FOB value was arrived at using outstanding cocoa contract of about 100,000 tons, sold at $2,600 per ton in the 2023-2024 crop season, and average forecast for the 2025-2026 crop season at an average exchange rate of 10.25 Ghana cedis to the US dollar. For the 2025-2026 crop season, the government is pleased to announce an increase in the producer price of cocoa from 49,600 Ghana cedis per ton to 51,660 Ghana cedis per ton. This further translates to an amount of 3,228.75 Ghana cedis per bag of 64 kg gross weight of cocoa. Government further announces that this new price takes effect from Thursday, 7th August 2025. This is coming on the back of a strong Ghana cedi and declining inflation, reflecting government's commitment to improving the livelihoods of our cocoa farmers. Since the second quarter of 2025, government has taken steps to maintain the cedi equivalent of the $3,100 per ton at 16 Ghana cedis to the US dollar, translating to 49,600 Ghana cedis per ton. This measure by government was to protect the cocoa farmer against the loss of income due to the strong performance of the cedi. By maintaining the price at 3,100 Ghana cedis per bag for several months now, amidst the strong performance of the Ghana cedi, government has subsidized the cocoa farmer with an amount of 1,114 Ghana cedis for each bag of cocoa sold since the second quarter of 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, this intervention by government moved the farmer share of the FOB from 63.9% to over 99%. The Producer Price Review Committee has also approved rates, margins, and fees for all other stakeholders in the cocoa supply chain. These include 1. Buyer's margin, 2. Haulers rate, 3. Warehousing and internal marketing cost, 4. Fees for disinfestation, 5. Grading and sealing, and 6. Weighing scale inspection. In preparation for the new season, Cocoa Board has made available jute sacks and related logistics for the smooth takeoff of the 2025-2026 crop season. Ladies and gentlemen, and to the cocoa farmer, I am pleased to announce that President Mohammed's administration has reintroduced the free cocoa fertilizer program as an additional support to the Ghanaian cocoa farmer beginning the 2025-2026 crop year. Beginning this crop year, President Mohammed's administration will supply A. Free cocoa fertilizers, both liquid and granular. B. Free insecticides. C. Free spraying machines. D. Free fungicides. And E. Free flower inducers to farmers. Government strongly advises cocoa farmers to apply these inputs solely for the purpose of improving cocoa yield and their income. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to announce to cocoa farmers that President Mahama has introduced a tertiary education scholarship scheme for children of cocoa farmers. Consequently, in the 2025-2026 season, Cocoa Board will develop modalities and implement the Cocoa Tertiary Scholarship Scheme for children of cocoa farmers, which will take effect from the 2026-2027 academic year. Ladies and gentlemen, beginning 2025-2026 crop season, Cocoa Board will roll out a Ghana cocoa traceability system. This system will ensure that cocoa produced in Ghana can be traced from a plot of land to a port of shipment. This all-new system will ensure that Ghana is in full compliance with the due diligence requirement of the European Union Deforestation Regulations, which takes effect from 31st December 2025. The cocoa traceability system places Ghana in a better position to supply cocoa that is traceable, deforestation-free, child labor-free, and compliant with EU regulations. Beginning this year, Cocoa Board will focus solely on its core mandate. This measure is to place Cocoa Board firmly on the path of recovery and position Cocoa Board to deliver critical services to the cocoa farmer and support the Ghanaian economy. As part of the 2026 budget, Ghana Cocoa Board Act will be amended to make it illegal for Cocoa Board to deviate or stray from its core mandate to protect the cocoa industry. For emphasis, Cocoa Board will no longer engage in quasi-fiscal activities. It will be a prohibition. Cocoa Board must focus on increasing cocoa yield, improving the cocoa value chain, and the well-being of the cocoa farmer. Subsequently, government has decided to transfer all ongoing cocoa road projects to the Ministry of Roads and Highways. Okay. Finally, government reaffirms its confidence in the new leadership of Cocoa Board to turn around the cocoa industry. Government is also committed to providing the needed support to the Ghana Cocoa Board to enable it boost cocoa yields, sustain the cocoa industry, and reclaim its lost glory as the mainstay of Ghana's economy. Thank you for coming. God bless the cocoa farmer. Dr. Kesiel Atoforsen, Minister for Finance. Inti Yajimre Akai Minister this statement, and I believe sir Cocoa Board is now firmly under the Ministry of Finance. Yes. Murphy a great ministry. Yes. Is there more Ministry of Finance? Yes. That's fine. And maybe first on say I'm be focusing on Mokoma and you buy even cocoa price. Meaning say everything with cocoa roads near the be free months.
Yes.
Munye cocoa roads be able.
Yeah, they be. I think government decision is Cocoa Board in focusing on Nejuma. Because the current situation of Cocoa Board, Cocoa Board exposure to cocoa roads 21 billion.
Ghana cities.
21 billion. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Roads and Highways are all the road agencies one as here. Yes. The commitment is 67 billion.
And that's a chunk of your cocoa roads.
21 billion is separate from 67 billion. They be Cocoa Board or no year cocoa the exposure road cocoa roads equal 21 billion. Now Osha Cocoa Board financial outlay, I'll be say when will Cocoa Board be able
to even claw back
to do this thing 20 years or 30 years? But Cocoa Board kept signing road contracts, and later almost be my friend of co-financing in US dollars. 21 billion. What your road agency? Cocoa Board in your feeder roads and your highways and your urban roads. So how can your exposure be 21 billion for something which is your non-core?
Okay, and that explains this decision from government.
Yes,
it is that the amendment to the act will now let you stay on course.
Yes, so the point is that say your critical cocoa roads. Okay, it is the responsibility of government to do that because it opens up the country, for haulage of cocoa and all that. So those roads must be identified and be made a priority as far as government road construction is concerned, so that the Ministry of Roads and Highways can focus on that.
Okay.
If Ochinebinian Fanny say Cocoa Board finances na Cocoa Board per se contribute 200 million to roads, and there are some particular roads, we can identify those roads and through our ministry, Ministry of Finance, and get roads to do that, so that we can focus on creating value for the entire cocoa value chain, especially the cocoa farmer.
But what happens to the 21 billion which is on your books? More ring fence up a
so say you know, under World Bank IMF program, no 2022.
Yes.
Cocoa board echo yeah baby my friend a turnaround strategy.
Okay.
Now under that strategy, you know, cocoa board, any government of Ghana, 2022, 2023, I agree. Say cocoa board be a friend rationalization. In the cocoa board and Casa Transi, and no shares are 21 billion contracts. No, and no muye BB, you can call it desktop analysis. So if you are cut away, you way frame, you cancel way, you risk copy way. You bet 21 billion also about 6.7 billion.
Okay.
So that is what cocoa board signed up to with the IMF as part of the IMF agreement.
Okay.
Ubejedi say your bar office 2025, close to 3 years. Cocoa board had not moved beyond the desktop analysis and providing that, signing that document to the IMF.
With the IMF.
They've not done anything.
Nothing has happened.
Nothing. So my first question to the guys there was that why have we not moved? This exercise is supposed to reduce your exposure from 21 billion
to
6.7 billion. It's a dentina.
Yenye
hushi. Ye the consultants neka. Na se yentua consultants na enya ade omo no ye be call field no so na yakọ actualize ade na me consultants e kan na ye di omo so ye the highways e ka be 120 and a feeder roads
120
million cedis and a feeder roads be 80 million cedis na me say okay nti ahe na ehia se se ye mo no omo ene eko exercise no omo so ye ma feeder roads be 20 near ma highways be 30 million omo ebeko any akoye, so that's 50 million cedis. Into because of 50 million Ghana cedis inti. For close to 3 years no. Adia ya signing up with the IMF. Ayena say there will be a rationalization of cocoa rows. They be reducing adia from 21 billion about 6.7 billion no. Nothing had been done. Inti Benami inform me minister honorable Atufosi say minister, this is the situation. And now, you contact Honorable Abuja.
Okay.
And the minister directly say, no, we should do a joint meeting.
Okay.
And the roads, any meeting with all the directors, any means we paying for. Meeting as near joint committee.
Okay.
And I me pay sikano. Two agencies no. And mo call out. And now omo akoye exercise no. Omo exercise no. Report omo the buy say you between rationalize it to 6.9 billion.
6.9 billion.
Yes. So they have now actually gone on the field.
Okay.
Omako field no so akoye sa exercise no, it took about a month.
Okay.
And omo ewie eno. It's say no government decision they say all the ongoing road projects no encore roads in take you over.
With all the liabilities maybe.
It is say no, we are now going to look at liabilities no, how it's going to be done, whether government be absorbing and now say they will find a way of doing that. But at least the first decision they say all ongoing projects no, Ministry of Roads should take over. Then now we'll look at say rationalization now, because they say now I will say your new contractors no so a transit near churo mo say bia contract we no say near no we ye say we near say okay sikana wo mu no e bia e betua over this period.
Okay.
Ebia ministry na betua ana cocoa board na betua say every year cocoa board benya 200 million and 300 million whatever it is. That's a decision that the Ministry of Finance and our roads and our cocoa board will sit down and deal with it. So first of all no, the Ministry of Roads Munji Njumani na Monshe, how you are going to do it. And if it's something which obviously is not factored into their 25 budget, they were probably looking at 26 budget, you know, how they can factor either all or some of them, critical ones into it. Then after they abeshe e kana eda ho no, e kwan ben e be faso e de tua.
And the rationalization means the debt of 21 billion no, Eswati about 6.9.
Because contracts now are signed no. Ebi wo ho a omo start here. Ebi so wo ho e bia 2% and 5%.
Okay.
Ebi so wo ho a contract no say na sign e bia na person o ye double ceiling and BB you can change it to a single seal.
Okay.
It's those things na omo trans wo office desktop. And omo cho so ye we say na ye we say na ye we say a e betumi ati sika no so from 21 billion to 6.7 billion. But now for the all desktop now, I was only consultants no call field no. Na call the exact work. Then field work no now confirms your desktop analysis or does not confirm it. Now then now you have to engage the contractors. on that. But that is what was not done for close to 3 years. It wasn't done. Yes, we've done it now.
Very well. Yes. I think it's clear. Now let's come to really what a lot of people are waiting for. For everything I read, page 1 of this statement, on how much government of Ghana is paying the cocoa farmer per 64 kg. Moma background in this statement. Bottom line, this further translates to an amount of 3,228.75 per 64 kg bag of cocoa. The analysis I've heard, I mean, on social media, say you've only added bare 128 Ghana cedis to a price of bag, and that is woefully inadequate against promises Amoye in opposition.
Okay. So, first of all, I think there are two things.
Yes.
Either say analysis, no, too simplistic.
Okay.
And now say mischievous.
Okay.
To be honest with you. Now, cocoa, ebono, ye determine cocoa. First of all, cocoa ni exported.
Yeah.
Inti yenton cocoa was cedis. Ye name himself cocoa no, ye ton US dollars. Inti ye obibia ye friend no FOB.
Yes.
Okay. Inti FOB no who determine don't forget say ye guarantee prices for farmers.
Sure.
So the INA say ye an average forecast. And then we also try to lock in some contracts when the prices are favorable. Into an average forecast of your pricing. Into say now see over the season, no, on the average, price is bare 7.5 on the average. It is our average, 7.5, no, and now the be FOB, no. What me I say?
Yeah.
Then in determining the producer price, which is the farmer share, a percentage
of that
of FOB, no. Inti a percentage of FOB now. Then what do? You multiply it by the prevailing exchange rate.
At the time,
no. In fact, Bank of Ghana bema an average over the same period.
Okay.
It's all average of the price,
Okay.
over the period.
Okay.
Then Bank of Ghana subema average exchange rate over the period. Inti no, and I would year or pricing no. What did I mention? I say, Inti, you first of all must determine what the average FOB is, and then then you determine percentage I would farmer no.
Sure.
Now I'm multiplying by the prevailing exchange or the average over the period. Inti, memo example, just to go back a bit. Season here end the 24-25 season. November 2024. And MPP are buying. Emma 24-25 price.
Sure.
Now FOB are buying a UCA $4,850 a ton.
$4,850
dollars per ton.
Okay.
That was the FOB.
Okay.
And as our FOB no, Obama farmer no $3,100 US as the farmer share. So that represented 63.9%. 63.9.
Yes.
It declared FOB November 2024 for 24-25 season was 4,850. That is when spot prices were at 10,000, 9.5 and whatever. Declared FOB was 4,850. It is more and 3-1 for Equiafor. The 3-1 no exchange rate are UCA 16 cedis
to $1.
To $1. Into $3,100 by 16 cedis, which was the exchange rate from UCA in November 2024. And then my 49,600 cedis per ton. And at 3,100 cedis per bag. Because 16 bags make a ton.
Sure.
So that was what happened. Now, fast forward.
But at the time, despite all of this calculation, the argument was made, said government could probably have given farmers more than 3,000. But I think the NDC were very loud on that.
Yes.
And the Honorable Atofos and Kokan said 6,000 kwan and Kabine and all of that. Why was that analysis made?
So for anybody who analyzing market no. Now when we say you ton cocoa between 9,000 and 10,000. Now you announce farmer share 3-1, what will be your reaction? Ocean market now over period no.
Yes.
Price no equal between 9,000 and 10,000.
Ghana cedis.
No, US dollars. O monitor market now. Now say a buying ebe bo price. No ama farmer 3,100. What will be your reaction?
Initially,
your fan is even CC no. Yes. Market is hovering around 7,778. If you announce let's say $3,100 for the farmer, how would anybody feel? That your share market now price no around 7,8. Yes. It will the farmer 3,100. What it means, they say you are giving the farmer even lower than 50%. So on the face of it, that will be the reaction of everybody, and it's on the basis of that now people said that here, because when they monitor international prices now, figures or who prices no over a period no, any the ISEMA farmer no, it doesn't make sense. Because prices no about 9,000. Your fans having 8.5 on the average. 8.5. Now so farmer 3,100. Then what percentage are you giving the farmer? When historically, we're saying the band is between 60 to 70%. So 60 is the lower band, 70 is the highest band. Yes. Okay. Say you ready at the end as a market, no. Your fan is average 8.5 and $8,000. Now so my farmer 3,100. On the face of it, it looks like you are giving the farmer way below the 60%. So obviously, anybody or monitor no, the person will be worried and the person will say are cheating the farmer. And I'm sure said that was the reaction, because the farmer share was 3-1. But you see, that is also the level of transparency. Because for example, until me call Cocoa Board no, na me name say FOB UC was 4,850. Nobody in Parliament knew.
How so?
Nobody knew, because if they knew the 4,850, they would have asked questions. Say, how did you arrive at an FOB of 4,850? Because 4,850 now not 3-1 here 63.9%. But how did you arrive at 4,850? You should be able to explain. It was just a statement in more. Yes. We have talked about the 7,200. 7,200 no, you're breaking it down. Say it is also because we are carrying forward, rolling over 100,000.
Yes.
Of 2,600 that was signed in 2023-2024. Yes. What it means, they say, so 100,000 at 260 is bringing the weighted average down. It will factor pricing now. Young fan say if you are going to do 600,000 tons, now say 100,000 tons of that is 2.6. Now say 500,000 tons. 7,700. You have to factor in the 100,000 at 2.6 no.
Yes.
With the 500,000 at 7.7 or 7.8, and then you have a weighted average. That will be your FOB. Because cocoa na o ba betino, enya ni na o cotton no 7.7. Would be 100,000. Why not? What on 2.6? They couldn't supply. Would the 100,000 eco supplies at 2.6 no. So you must factor that 2,600 by 100,000 tons in determining your FOB for that season. Because 100,000 of what you produce will be given for 2,600, and then 500,000 will be given for the higher price. It is our weighted average, you know. Yes. And no any about 7,200, no. So what is it that caused the weighted average for 24-25 to come to 4,850? That is what nobody knew until we stepped into Cocoa Board. I've seen handing over notes on my desk at Cocoa Board. Bibi oho mo friend rollover contracts. It is not in the handing over notes. It was not disclosed to the transitional team. Parliament was not aware. Are you aware, say, for 6 quarters, Cocoa Board did not provide financials to SIGA? I've not seen a single letter from SIGA as a reminder to Cocoa Board, say, won't submit financials. Maybe back Cocoa Board, this small period, Professor Kpesa White.
Yes.
Send your obetata ono
for the financial.
We your documents. Say documents are submitted here and soon here and can't say I can't wait. Try and bring it within this short period. So for 6 quarters, Cocoa Board is submitting the documents without financials to SIGA. The issue of the rollover. So it was only when I got into cocoa board and now more presentation, many of them call offsite for every department to do presentation. That was the first time I rollover by a buying. Let me see, wait a minute, what is this? Say 23-24 no. Cocoa board a ton cocoa at $2,600 a ton. Season ibe we no cocoa board and to me and supply 333,767 tons.
But the technocrats then, what did they tell you? Because on once na ne omo e wo ho na ye adwuma. E dey na omo ka kire.
Well, as omo kan and say forecast na omo ye.
Yeah.
So you see that first of all, no we forecaster. They are always how do you call it? You can have plus 5 minus 5% variation.
Margin of error.
Yes, in the forecast. But this is a forecast that fell over 40%. 2027, cocoa board bedi 80 years. Until 24-25, cocoa board has syndicated loan for 32 years. Now I'll tell you something. Cocoa has syndicated loan now. The collateral, contracts are signing.
Yes.
So listen to me carefully. Until who sign contracts? Yes, funny say what signing contract say may 800,000 tons. Then your average price of let's say $2,600. It is $2,600 times 800,000 tons and no total value.
Okay.
Until CMC Cocoa Marketing Company the mandate say you can go and sign contracts for 800,000 tons of cocoa, not less than $2,600. Today we'll go and sign with the buyers. Now, sir, contracts and now they got 2 banks naming as collateral. Say must secure contracts to supply X tons of cocoa at this price. Until no measure so the amount loan no syndicated loan no. This all 1 billion, 1.5 billion, 1.8 billion no. At that AC contracts now was signing so. It is the American see asemso. It is 23-24 no. Cocoa board eco signing our contracts to go and secure syndicated loan. Now it looks like the banks themselves they knew what was happening at cocoa board. It is for the first time in the history of cocoa board. Cocoa board BSCs in September. Do you know when the first tranche hits cocoa board's account? 22nd December. And see that. Even that year, cocoa board had to go and take money from Ministry of Finance in order to finance cocoa purchases. So the banks themselves knew that over the last 2-3 years, they were seeing cocoa board finances, it was whatever. No ebedru no, sa contrast na cocoa board ko sign here to go and do the syndicated loan. Cocoa board could not deliver 333,767 tons. That they are sold for 2.6. So what it means is that what it meant was that following season 24-25 prices no akosro no. E was say who use sa cocoa no. Now the 2.6. But this is what they did not disclose. Obi utiha Obaha Monday to Friday until 2025. No what rollover that.
No.
So for such a huge thing, say cocoa board could not deliver what ton cocoa $2,600 when to be and deliver over 333,000 tons. Nobody knew about it.
But how was that possible? That's why I don't understand. Say the Parliament Agri Committee on Cocoa Affairs, no, didn't know.
Nobody knew. You should ask them. So I've told you, say, for 6 quarters, Cocoa Board did not provide financials to SIGA. And I have not seen any correspondence from SIGA on Cocoa Board demanding those documents. For 6 quarters. That's 1.5 years. So, omo no mujina parliament no mo kasa munya ni se ni na. They didn't know. So as when I went there, I catch was say a call off-site. And I mean, so quickly, I went to the minister and informed him, and he informed the president. So that's how come the president included that in the State of the Nation address. Yes. Nobody knew that. It was not part of the handing over notes. Transitional team, no, it was not part of the briefing of the transitional team. Such a huge matter.
And you are saying, sir, that may have affected prices as you say cocoa.
That is what affected, because Ubesha 24-25 no prices were higher than today.
Yes.
Prices were higher than today.
Yes.
So how is it that Eneno, when the prices are lower, the prices have dropped to the 7,000s, we are able to declare an FOB of $7,200? But when the prices were higher, at the time of move fixed price, no, they could only declare 4,850. What explains that? Obi, what explains that? Because time I hear fixed 24-25, no, now cocoa prices ne higher CNE. But and then no, yet to me I declare FOB of $7,200. So how come last year now prices no higher CNE no 4,850 was what was declared.
And based on 4,850, and now omoma farmers na
3-1.
Good. And as you see, FOB near 7,200. And why are you giving farmers
5,040? That's 70%
of the FOB.
70%. That is what the NDC promised in the manifesto. That is what President Mahama promised recently when he went out there. He met the farmers. He told them 70%, and the 70% we know is the highest in that bracket of 60 to 70.
Yes.
So you will see, say, the farmer share has moved from $3,100 to $5,040 almost $2,000. So the question is that, prices are dropping below 8,000. Prices, cocoa prices are dropped below 8,000. But yet to me, FOB of 7,200. How come at time prices nowhere in their 9,000s? No.
Now FOB near under
4,850.
4,850.
How?
But Randy, maybe when this is here no, so we share FOBCC 7,200. Mama farmer no share of 5,040. That's
US $39 rounded to 40.
That's $5,040 US.
Yes.
Good. And my farmer no 4,000.
Omo declare 4,850.
850.
And my farmer no $3,1. Yes.
$3,1.
$3,100.
And then $3,100 no.
Yes.
And in the area no munya CD of 3,100 Ghana cedis for bag.
So $3,100.
Okay.
Times 16 cedis. That was the exchange rate.
Okay.
And no amount of 49,600 for a ton.
Okay.
Now divided by 16, we'll give you price per bag. Okay. And about 3,100 cedis per bag.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Inti adena momu diena sisi a farmer share of the FOB no was wrong.
Yes.
But multiply by US dollar rate of 10.25.
Yes.
Now the obenya no watch him 16.
Yes.
Now the amount price per 64 kg.
Yes.
But why didn't we see a difference, big difference in the price per 64
You don't see a big difference because the exchange rate, the Ghana cedi,
are performing
here. So you are comparing 16 to 10.25. So almost 6 cedis is shaved off the dollar. Almost 6 cedis. So you are talking about like 40% plus in terms of the performance of the currency. So assuming the currency was 16 with 5,014, about 80,000. 80,640 cedis.
India no divided by 16. No?
Yes. Yes. In 5,040 no. Say Ghana cedi to dollar no. Still 16 cedis and about 80,640. Now dividing it by 16, and then you get a bag,
price
which will be like 5,000 and something. What did I mention? I say.
Into where farmers are getting this rate because of the good performance of the cedi.
Yes, because it is always, you see, you sell the thing in US dollar. Cocoa near ton of dollar. Outside.
Yes.
Dollar near ton. Yes. You say oil, near ton of dollar. Timber, near ton of dollar. Until it is the dollar value multiplied by an exchange rate that will give you your cedi value.
Yes.
So you have the FOB as a factor in US dollars. Then you have your exchange rate as a factor.
Yes.
Into the US dollar FOB no the percentage and how they farmer no.
Yes.
It will this percentage is in dollars. No I'm multiplying by exchange rate, prevailing exchange rate. O multiply and a price per ton, price per bag in cedis because you pay the farmer in cedis. But you arrive at 49,600. No, it was arrived at on the basis of a dollar value.
Yes.
3-1. by exchange rate 16 to give you 3,1 and 4,9,600. Say you know, because of the improved FOB value 7,200. 80 farmer also 70%, not the 63.9. 70% of a higher value. So that is why in dollar terms, you see, the value is almost $2,000. But then you come and multiply it by your exchange rate, which will give you the CD value. So that's how it is. That's how it's done.
Obi.
It will share BBR. Let me just show you something.
That's fine.
Osha, something significant happened. From Yanfan, it's a second quarter now, when the CD dropped up to about 10.3. Okay. You know.
Okay.
Nanka, I was say Yama farmer no. 10.3 times 3,100. 18 price per bag. Now was say about 1,970. And price per ton. I say about 37,000. But government insisted, said no. We can't do that. 80 near Dahu Emma farmer no 49,600. And 3,100 per bag for close to 5 months. So government was actually subsidizing a bag of cocoa by 1,114 cedis every bag. So farmer share no, by virtue of maintaining the 49,603 no, farmer share no moved from 63.9% to about 99.80%. So you virtually didn't have any space for any other thing. No margins, no fees, no farmer support, nothing. So farmer share, because 4,850 now, you needed about 4,800 to be able to give the farmer the 3,1 and the 49,600. So government of Ghana subsidized it until the 24-25 season ended. Yes. Because instead of 3,1 no, we now need 4,8 to be able to give the farmer the same CD value.
Yeah. My main kind Obi analysis be on the two social media, and then we analyze that now about why the early opening of the cocoa season, and then we deal with that. We say Obi, the president announced that cocoa farmers must expect not less than 70% of the world market price. When the world market price peaked to $10,000 per ton last year, they chastised the NPP for not paying at least 6,000 Ghana cedis per bag, and that they were insensitive. The world market price this year peaked to $12,000 per ton. Why are they not giving farmers more than 5,500 Ghana cedis per bag, but the 3,228 they've announced? The calculation is this: at an exchange rate of 10, or no, you should 10.45 to a dollar, $12,000 per ton should be 125,400 Ghana cedis per ton. In bags, it's 125,400 Ghana cedis divided by 16, which would give you 7,837.5 per bag. 70% of that amount should give you 5,486.25 Ghana cedis per bag of cocoa. That is almost 5,500 Ghana cedis per bag. Nipan analysis no makes sense, no?
Obi, a little knowledge is always very dangerous. To be honest with you, and I'm trying to be very mild. A lot of figures, a lot of grammar, zero substance.
Really?
So let me explain to you. Obi, statement now can you?
Yes.
When is the season taking off?
It's taking off 7th August. Yeah.
Which is when?
That's this week.
Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday.
12,000 no can I
also when it peaked. He didn't state when it peaked.
Yeah, but the season is starting on Thursday. So how do you go and use a price of yesterday? How?
You cannot use the peak price. No,
how can you use a price of yesterday? You are selling the thing over a period. As we speak today, into year a forecast, an average over the season, over the period. Yeah. So we are talking about, let's say, August to, let's say, July of 2026. Until you are forecasting over the period. You may have locked up some, you may have locked in some contracts over the period. Yes. Until you are striking an average. Once you finish striking that average, no, that is why I kept saying, I kept using today current price. Because current price, no, current price, no say, as we speak, we've gone below 8,000.
In the and yet 12,000 They say we are doing below 8,000 now.
You can check on your phone yourself. What they share? Maybe we are now.
Okay. Okay.
Not sharing what the price is.
Okay. That's 7,234.
Yes.
7,234.
Yes. In the fan say even
as at 4:14 p.m.
today.
Yeah, as at 4:14 p.m.
In the fan say even in the course of the year. Now say be a cocoa even 10,000 and it lasts for 2 weeks or even 1 week. How do you use
cannot
that?
use that one.
I mean,
the upper ceiling. You have to take
that's why I said little knowledge is always dangerous. We need to be careful with some of these analysis, please. At the end of the day, we are talking about a season, the 25-26 season.
Yes.
You have a projection over the period. 2, I also told you, you also have rollover contracts.
Yes.
Rollover contracts, quantity plus value is factored into the average that you do, and that is what gives you what is called the weighted average. So that is what has brought you to 7.2. So assuming in here needs 100,000 ye at 2.6, maybe our weighted average would have been, let's say, 7.6 or 7.8. Do you understand what I'm saying? But to the extent that you supply that 2,600 contracts within that period, you have to factor that in the pricing, because 25-26 cocoa and I would So that is why I asked the question. Ask the question. 24-25. Na cocoa prices higher. How come the FOB that was declared was 4,850 and the farmer was given 3.1, which is 63.9%? How come?
Maybe at the time, so they're okay. At the time of opening the season, now they also did not use the peak price because the workers and price and they higher, and maybe it was the peak price. At the time of opening the season, maybe not drop.
And I make sure when I say the average over that period was about 8,500 or 8,000.
Okay.
But I can tell you, a year roll over
and
2,600 because you're servicing about 230,000 of that in 24-25.
And you have to factor.
It's when you factor that, it pulls the weighted average down. But that is the information that those who were saying pay the farmer, they didn't know. That was information that was not out there in the public domain. And maybe say Obi, what's now Monday to Friday? Maybe Metro. Tuesday to Friday. Now me tell that. Until I stepped into Cocoa Board. Even me step into Cocoa Board, it took me 2 weeks. Me call offsite.
And now
presentations, and I mean who's there. That is where I saw it. That's why I got all those details. And I made sure I said SIGA. Cocoa Board had not submitted financials to SIGA for 6 quarters. In the Parliamentary Select Committee, let anybody on the Parliamentary Select Committee of last Parliament tell you, said they were aware of this. Let them tell you whether they were aware of this. Whether it's Finance Committee, Anna, Agric, and Cocoa, let them tell you whether Cocoa Board made this disclosure to them officially at Parliament. You should ask them. Anna Bisa transitional team, whether in the handing over they were informed about this.
Wow. Ekosiisen say hi Asempa FM and for more Martino, the government of Ghana announced the cocoa price per bag for the 2025-2026 crop season. And on the Namswa any Cocoa Board CEO Dr. Randy Abe Edi Hon Enkomo, and he's trying to explain to us the reasoning behind a buying announced price and on the face of it say Osha a year 3,228 and a buy announced say about the price per 64 kg of cocoa. So what they compare last year then, which was 3,100 the big and say now is a buy dada cocoa for because the board they are too soon Isha and on a Dr. Randy Abe edge same wire sa adie aba, and you've heard him some messages na fe a main sign emrane ho ye bebusa why the ye cocoa season entem would ask that question. But we say Obi, ask Dr. Randy Abe if he's aware that there were rollovers for 2016-2017 crop year, and that the previous administration also met rollovers close to 200,000 tons. The rollovers are in the handing over note. Randy is not telling the whole truth when they met the government transition team headed by Seth Tekpe, it was one of the issues they drew their attention to. You can even ask Seth Tekpe. Way free. Honorable Michael Edu, only a Ofori Chrome member of parliament, and all the way about Randy.
You see, I don't like to. I try to stay away from personalizing issues because I know who sent it.
Yes.
But my predecessor left me handing over notes, chief executive to chief executive, on my desk. Can he tell me whether it is in it?
Whether the rollover?
Yes, whether it is in it. From chief executive to chief executive. I received on my table handing over notes signed by the previous chief executive. Was there rollover in it?
Would you be surprised if it was rather given to the transition team? But
the chief executive is sent handing over notes to me.
To you.
On my table. A critical thing like this. So that's what I'm asking. Was it there?
Okay.
Was it there? Now, secondly, this issue of rollover 2016,
2017.
It was about 50,000.
Was it 200,000?
No, it's not true. It is not true. It's not true. And even that one, in terms of the pricing, it was even an advantage to us. The pricing was an advantage to us. We didn't lose. We didn't use high price cocoa in 2017 to pay for the rollover. We didn't use high price cocoa. We used low price to service that. In this case, we are using high price
cocoa.
High price cocoa. Difference of between $4,000 to $6,000 to service low price. They are not the same. In 2016-2017, we did not use high price cocoa to service a rollover of low price cocoa. We use low price cocoa, to service high price cocoa. So it was a benefit to us. It was a plus to us. Those are the facts.
Very well. Wesa Obi, good afternoon. Okay, let me deal with this one rather. The president said that Randy, has promised him that the August producer price will be very, very, very huge. Is Dr. Randy saying 128.75 Ghana cedis is very, very huge? What information did he use to promise the president that it will be very, very huge? Lastly, we don't care about the FOB prices and all the number calculations. We care about what they are paying the farmer. That is 128.75 Ghana cedis. Way free Kofi Tonto, Randy.
I've told you, sir, I don't like personalizing some of these things. Now, some of these things is one betray. Na ebia wakokan obinim, because sometimes you expect certain people to reason differently and to appreciate things differently.
Yes,
I hope you understand what I'm saying.
I get you.
If ebia text you by answer in komo aye dina, I can pardon it. But yeti ha ni e kan say dollar, ye ton ade dollar. Then say ye can say to whom much is given, much is expected. Until say who at a certain level, and I say who nimdi up to a certain level, you're also expected to appreciate things a bit differently. Like I said, 49,600 and not 31 year cano. It didn't come from the sky. Variables and a contributed to that. One is a farmer share of an FOB denominated in dollars, multiplied by an exchange rate.
An exchange rate now.
Yes. Now, are we all of a sudden assuming, say, Ghana exchange rate is still 16 cedis?
It cannot be.
Yes. Assuming say Ghana exchange rate is 16 cedis anka 5,040, no, and yeah 80,600. So how would anybody,
knowing the fact of
yes, I mean speak that way?
That's fine.
In any case, if at any $1 and a FOB is in dollars and you declare producer price in dollars and say multiply by exchange rate, are you telling me say an increase from 3,100 to 5,040 and a huge increase? Is it not? $3,100 to 5,040. Is it not a huge increase?
That is if it was 16 cedis.
No, I'm saying that even now,
yes,
3,100 to 5,040. Is it not a huge increase?
And that's the FOB, no?
Yes.
FOB.
Is it not a huge increase?
FOB, no? But at the end of that is not what is going to the farmer. It's a 3,000.
What is going to the farmer?
Yes.
Is exactly that. Is the $5,040.
And also now calculating.
Yes, And I make sure on say Yemfa say from April. Say inka aban my own kwan. Say you apply exchange rate now. How much was the farmer going to get?
Exchange rate of
10.25. When the CD dropped to 10. We will use the same 3,100.
Sure.
Yeah, the 10 can get 31,000.
Yeah.
And a bag number 1,970. Would that still not be the 3,001? I apply exchange rate. Is that not what would have happened? And the government decided, said no, or best subsidize it. It will give the farmer $1,114 for all that period until we go into the new season. New season, no, the FOB declared 7.2 as against 4,850. Yama farmer 70%, which comes to 50,040. You multiply it by exchange rate, and it gives you how much you pay for this. Look, Yanu Cote d'Ivoire. Cote d'Ivoire, your more increment. No? It took their price to 39,600 per ton. 39,600. That's the Ivorian price.
Dollars.
No. Cedis.
And almost cedis.
What the best cedis are 39,600. Okay. Say by yen the you cost 51,648. If you compare Ghana to Cote d'Ivoire, say no Cote d'Ivoire there. If you look at CFA, Cote d'Ivoire the omuchia say what the best cedis are 39,600. Yen the I announce no 51,648. So that's comparing Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire as we speak. Cote d'Ivoire by election October. We are expecting that they will also increase. We don't know where they are going to move to. Near Womunim and on mobile year, okay, so we increment a few months ago. And no any call 39,600. But even when they were 39,600, because government was subsidizing, we were still at 49,600. Although in dollar terms, no more paying because we're moving from $2,900 was $2,800 to 3,600. That was their movement. And the year was 3,100 still. But not still not because government is subsidizing it almost $4,800. So it is a say no compare what we have announced. Any Cote d'Ivoire is here. Cote d'Ivoire 39,600. Ghana 51,648. If you are comparing Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire, that's where we are now.
The other thing would be, sir, Randy, if it's because I remember I hosted Sami Jemfini Miracles Ewaha, and the argument was between spot price and the forward sales. Back and forth. I think Sami was on the fact that cocoa board talk cocoa no spot price, and Miracles can say forward sales. They be back and forth be brainer ewa. In the I've read questions are say if I remember what Sami said then why did cocoa board not also use peak price now the cocoa drew because at the times and now ton you have to be sport and cause our peak price now they ebeton. Why don't you use that in calculations? So they be a farmer no.
You cannot use that. Cocoa no is produced over a period.
It then also used to average.
Yeah, cocoa is produced over a period. So you have a combination of sports. Like I'm saying, there are times Abia Yemfane say price no do baby. Then your marketers advise say baby a price no do no. Maybe you should try and lock in some 20,000 or 50,000. Then you lock it at that price. It will now determine price now. You use all those ones to strike the average. That's how it's done.
Okay. No, it's good. This education is coming. So they be clear. Sani mano. Randy, your name said traditionally September, October, and ye cocoa season. Why August this time? And mubenya sikadia to cocoa no.
All right. So first of all, na October. Globally in October like cocoa year. October. But on the last season here be in September. And it's because on yes indication you have some laxity in terms of when you must when you can open the season and all that. Now I've also realized people hoard in anticipation of new season and new price. And you have quite a lot of hoarding and things going on. Now, because we are not doing syndication, so it's not as if we are waiting for
money to come
in before we can start the season. And the decision was that, look, let's open earlier. In any case, we also have some commitments that are due. For example, cocoa bills, 2 billion is due in September, but the money must hit the account in August.
BOG Cocoa Bills now we release on behalf of Cocoa Board.
No,
to pay our debt.
Where they are CBG ni we mu
Bank of Ghana.
They be
okay.
Bank of Ghana 10 year they no separate.
Okay.
Okay. So there's 2 billion which is due in September, but the monies must be lodged in account in August. In fact, initially now we thought say was September. That is why I push it there no say on here in August, because utraki sales na crowd say na light crop na slow.
Yes.
And the information that we're getting was that people in anticipation of new prices were hoarding. So the point was that look, open it in August, let them free, let them bring out all what they have hoarded, so that we can then do some sales and then move on into September. So that really was the rationale. And because we weren't waiting for any syndicated loan to land, so we thought that look, we could do that so that at least we could try and mop up all those volumes that perhaps are being hoarded and all that before then we get into September.
But then the real issue would become baby a cocoa board are you continuing with the
60,
funding
40.
model now? We predecessor
60-40. So you see, this funding model is linked to the rollover. But yeah, the buyers have signed contracts with you.
Yes.
And you couldn't deliver almost 400,000 tons. They needed that cocoa for their clients. Look, sometimes I don't person I didn't bear to say A versus B. You understand me? But whatever the funding model is, look, Cocoa Board issue request for proposals to do syndication for 24-25. The financial market shut off. They didn't even respond to us. There was a request for proposal. Cocoa Board issued a request for proposal. So the intention of we didn't even get a response. The intention of don't forget, say the previous year, the thing delayed to 22nd December. Never happened before. And we didn't even get what we wanted and had to go to Ministry of Finance for some $70 million or something, which is also a debt, to be able to do the financing of the cocoa. So we were in troubled waters. Now, buyers now say yes. So the thing was that say if you needed your thing, then finance the crop. So the buyers agreed to then finance the crop, so that they'll be able to retrieve those low price contracts now. Whilst they can also buy a bit of this. So that is how come we supplied over 230,000 of the low price contracts over the period, and also supplied some of the current one. Now there's still 100,000, and that is why we are continuing with this financing model. But however, as I speak, Ministry of Finance, we are looking at a financing model.
Another one?
Yes, we are looking at a financing model moving beyond 25-26. Because if we clear the 100,000 in 25-26, how do you tell the buyers to still take your financing cost? What will be the motivation? So you have an issue of one or more. Two, there's a global shortage of the bean. So it is in their interest that they participate in the financing, so that they'll be able to get a bean, especially a premium bean for their buyers. But now everybody is ramping up production. 333 ne possibly by the time I be 25-26
yes.
Now omonsa kanina. So what will be the motivation again? So what it means is that we must quickly get in place a sustainable financing model, and that is the discussion now.
And also will mean say yes, I go back to syndicated loan
there will be many options, but I'm saying say as we speak, that discussion is ongoing. So Ministry of Finance, Cocoa Board, Bank of Ghana, the minister has directed, so we are on that.
Let me hear your opinion on this, T. Okay. Osei, Randy should be asked about the 60-40 arrangement. Overseas cocoa off-takers advance monies to Cocoa Board on behalf of licensed buying companies, TO, to buy cocoa for Cocoa Board, so that when the cocoa is shipped, the off-takers first pay the foreign LBC 60% of the value of bought and shipped, and subsequently pay Cocoa Board the 40% outstanding. And only 60-40, no? Okay. Or say, In the event that the off-takers fail to advance monies, or they do but advance lesser than expected, what will he do as the chief executive officer?
Okay, so the point is before we settled on this and before we agreed, we had done a lot of engagements, extensive engagements.
Okay.
I've met the buyers in Europe, in North America, and all that. And so we're very sure about what is going to happen this season.
Okay.
And that is why we're going ahead with it.
Ahead with our
yes. I mean, but from where I sit, I don't expect any hiccups. But like I said, I mean, one global event can change everything. But from where I sit and what we see, we do not think that we should be worried.
We should be worried.
But like I said, one event globally can change
everything.
Things. Yes.
But how about those who say this may be a reasonable model against syndicated, because syndicated will be transaction cost, transaction advisors. Sikadebe accounts, not be break into these expenses.
Point I may to say this model is only coming because of two things.
Okay. A stopgap measure.
One, omuhu akemu 333,000 tons, low price. Into we a buyer, more 333,000. Mo sign a contract for 26. Cocoa price is equal 10,000. Look at the difference. Won't it be in your interest? Say Uber financing crop no, so at least you can get this tonnage,
Yes.
Low price at 26, because the chocolate industry and everybody is complaining about the prices. So if you have locked in 333,000 tons at 2,600, it's a no-brainer to put your money in with respect to the financing cost, so that you can get these contracts for your clients at 26, because the alternative is that your clients will have to pay 8,000 or 9,000 for it. What did I mention? Yes. Then two, there's also a global shortage.
Yes.
Cote d'Ivoire dropping about 500,000 tons. Ghana dropping bare 250 to 300,000 tons. Between the two of us, we are talking about premium cocoa. As we speak, until there's a global shortage, until there's a scramble, especially for premium cocoa. So obviously, in the face of misfortune, there was this opportunity. Do you understand what I'm saying? Until you take advantage of it. But the truth of the matter is that it was you at the back of your mind what has led to this situation, and once those factors do no longer exist, which means that one, we clear rollovers now. Now two, say global supply also increase here. What will be the motivation for a buyer to come and finance your crop?
To do so?
Yes, because we share and baby prices now. See a coherent indication, less than $4 billion. So check the financing cost alone. What did I mention? Check the financing cost alone. When we're doing 1 million, it was about 1,800, 2,000. So even with 1 million tons, it was about $2 billion. Today, when you are even doing like half of that, you are talking about $4 billion US dollars. Look at the financing cost associated with this, especially when in the last 3 years, your books are so bad, say your cost that people can even ask you 8% on a dollar. Do you understand what I'm saying? I was saying also appreciate it, say you can only take advantage of this financing because of this situation, these variables. And that once those variables are disappearing, they are clear of because everybody is ramping up production globally. So they expect that global production will improve. Then now you're also clearing your rollovers. So if the rollover is cleared and global production improves, what will be the motivation to finance the crop? So that is why we have put in place the alternative. We are discussing. Yes,
that's fine. The other thing, back to finance minister statement. It is some of the other benefits ma prepare se cocoa farmer ebenya. Number one, okay, let's even deal with approved rates, margins, ni fees for all stakeholders in the cocoa supply chain. And they say a buyer's margin where they call LBCs
yes.
Matum.
I'll have to say something. Technical committee in meeting you share variables. We came to a decision, say, to be able to pay the farmer 70%, we all must make sacrifices. Until all of us on the value chain, we agreed. Say fees now were set for us for 24-25, we should maintain
and
it.
no one more 12.
Yeah, maintaining so that Equiafono will be able to get a 70. Because immediately we increase them.
Affected the Kuyanini.
Kuyanini to me 70 now. So all of them agreed. Say, look, we all understand the situation. So we all agreed. Say, your margins and fees for 24-25 we'll keep it same.
That
yes, for 25-26.
In the buyer's margin, haulage rate, warehousing,
then same.
Disinfestation,
yes.
this hand yes. Okay. And now, after Yamra, the issue of free cocoa fertilizer. I don't know, but there was a process to gradually scrap subsidy on fertilizer. So where are you rolling?
No, I think that it was the previous government.
I'm gonna start saying.
Omo decided say.
Okay.
Omo beye adena as a subsidy.
Okay.
Under GM.
Yes.
GM1. No?
Yes. It was free. Sure.
Yes. It was the MPP that introduced this.
The subsidy. No?
Yes, and you should go and check the collection or recovery of the fertilizer. Yes. You should go and check it.
Even half price and
they couldn't collect the money. They couldn't. You can go and check the books. Let anybody. It couldn't be done. And in any case, on the basis of feedback from farming communities, NDC at a key position. Say when it comes to power, they restore what it was when it was in power. So this is a fulfillment of what
that promise.
Yes.
Okay. It is here free cocoa fertilizers, both liquid and granular. Farmer beer benyani free.
Yes.
Insecticides free.
Yes.
Spraying machines free.
Yes.
And no chiremu. So farmer be amber spraying machine.
Oh,
and there will be
sometimes you will gang spraying into your hands.
Okay. Into gang spraying free fine. Free fungicides.
Sometimes we use cooperatives into your moye spraying.
And a free flower inducers to farmers. But the question is, for if the company is in such a messy state, why offer these?
Because you see, one, you are also thinking about the crop. You also want to improve the yields.
Yes.
So these are interventions that unim say, oh yeah, about improve and increase yields. Now, when there's a cost barrier, you realize the farmer participation is low, and it then affects your into your cost benefit analysis. No, will it make sense for me to spend so much, invest so much, and expect that the yields will increase by that, and then make up for it? Do you understand what I'm saying? Because sometimes, you can also be like brofomono. You can be penny wise and pound foolish. So what is the point in creating the impression? Say I'm only subsidized; it's not free, and yet I'm not able to collect the money. And yet the fertilizer is not able to get to the farmer. And you are not able to get it to be used for the yields to improve. Do you understand what I'm saying?
But most restore free, how do you deal with Omonso and Afe Omo area Eshepiko Amanone Ayuno?
Yes.
Fertilizers.
So this then comes up with a strategy.
Yes.
To ensure, we would also try and make it one, very unattractive, two, very difficult to be able to smuggle it. So those are things at Kokoboni, special services are working with national security, BNI and others to deal with it. Yes.
And all of the costs arising from the free, would be borne by Cocoa Board.
Yes.
Because that really is the only say I've listened to interviews. Awaka said the company you met was virtually insolvent.
Yes.
And if an insolvent company is promising freer, we should all be
so the point is that you see 30%. There's a part which is for farmer support. Once the 70% eco farmer.
Yes.
There's a part
30%
ebekano and known as our buyer's margin a big percentage be almost.
Okay.
Says our percentage and so we will call on government to
support.
Yes, because it is a government policy.
Okay.
So for example, prices here, government says that don't reduce it, may subsidize it. There are things that we're asking government to pay for on the basis of that decision.
Okay.
Because once we did not reduce, it also has affected certain expenditures. And so government, this is the implication of decision now will take here. So somebody must pay for it. Yes.
Can you also confirm the numbers from January to say June? in terms of receipt from cocoa export, we are doing around 2.18 billion. Is that true?
It should be true. It should be possible.
And that for a company raking in that much, you cannot say the company is insolvent.
But the money is not for the company. Don't forget, say I've just told you. So we fix the price now. About 64%, 63.9% of that money was going to the farmer.
Yes.
Until we count 2.something billion now, about 64% is not coming to Cocoa Board. It's not Cocoa Board's money. Cocoa Board never receive it, but then you now, so we now kind buyer's margin, now for the 4 to 5 months now, farmer share no a movie from 63.9% to 99.80%.
By subsidizing,
Yes. So you would realize, say, instead of paying 3.1 to the farmer, you were paying 4.8. So virtually all the money was going back for the purchase of the bean. What did I mention? So sometimes on the face of it, Obisha there no $2 billion. But $2 billion, how much of that $2 billion is for Cocoa Board? It's for Cocoa Board. And now one year careful. Now Befu says scanning now then you go signing things and all that. But a banner uyi weska. And I'll be who say Sikana buy and we are just trustee. Udia womu small percentage be. What did I mention as it?
Yes. The other thing, Randy, will be the
because can 6% about Cocoa Board
from the receipt from sales.
Bear 6%. And maximum of 6%. And a bear Cocoa Board there maximum. Tenuna Cocoa Board over has ni bibia or the bear maximum of 6%. Until during the period now, cocoa farm managing 99.8 no. Ye wakem buyers wakem haulers wakem bibia wakem. It will 2 point something no. Yes, a dollar by economy no, it strengthens the currency. Because they say no, cocoa is bringing about 350, let's say 350 million or $400 million every month. In terms of stabilizing the currency and all that, it is doing all that because Bank of Ghana beji dollar no Mercedes at any rate near there no etua near SSC etua no. In terms of stabilizing the currency and doing well for the economy, is doing that. But if the farmer is going to get 99.8%, because what happened is 63.9%.
Yes.
Then there was 36.1%, which is for all in Crofona we now mention here no. By virtue of exchange rate, no, say 36.1%, no, shrinky to 0.2%. And a farmer then increasing from 63.9 to 99.8.
But one other thing, because I think minister statement can say he would want Cocoa Board to focus on more core duty, and core duty for the Ghanaian say will be increasing production, more yields from cocoa. I was going through numbers now here in production. So 2020-2021, yeah, 1,047,000 metric tons. 2021-2022, 683,564 tons. 2022-2023, 670,000 tons. 2023-2024, 450,000 tons. 2024-2025. Projection and say about 650,000 metric tons. And no from the last crop season to wait here, there is an improvement. What is the strategy, concrete steps by Randy to make the numbers look good, at least to take us to 2020-2021?
So two things. Usha Ghana, who compare to Cote d'Ivoire, Ecuador, near this now. Ube say yeno ye largely smallholder farms.
Yes.
And Cote d'Ivoire ni plantation farms. There's a catch to it.
Yeah.
Plantations no yield per land size no is like 3 times the yield for smallholder farms. Into smallholder, let's say 1 hectare. 1 hectare ma 1 ton. Plantation no about 3 tons. So you could even deal with the same land size, but because a plantation no, into use a plantation or the agronomic practices and all those things into same farm size, but because a plantations no yield is like 3 times what the smallholder farms no produce. Inti, and here one thing. So you need to look at the structure of the farms between the jurisdictions or amongst the jurisdictions.
But I hear say no, so because of Cote d'Ivoire land tenure system, no, a man here easy to do plantation because they've nationalized amongst us.
So that is
we
why.
Don't have
so that is why government has taken a decision, say, because of this same land tenure idea, no, say government will use its strength and its might and its power and everything to go and acquire 200,000, no.
Okay.
So that can be for plantation farming.
Compulsory acquisition.
Yes. Yes. So what we have done is say at Cocoa Board, you were the friend land suitability map.
Okay.
And you baby an edua cocoa.
Okay.
In the Cocoa Research Institute, TAFO, or more at developing land suitability map. I actually say, or my test. Too far Ghana map now. Me will be on my phone, so I can show that you can show it. It will be who say, aha, a bit me, I have my 100%, I have about 80%, I have about 60%, I have about 40%. I had there no. Oh, there are some places I honor your test. So that is the map that we have provided to the Ministry of Finance and then the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. To guide them in getting the land, because they can go and acquire land only to realize say you acquire land here to find their cocoa. So that's what has been done. Now, too, and most importantly, Ghana production so abba from power because of swollen shoot.
Swollen shoot.
Virus disease, SSVD. SSVD by Ghana 30s. And no name Craig.
Yeah.
Swollen shoot, no. I take you over almost 40%
of your land,
cocoa productive farmlands. Almost 40%. Almost 40%. Now, you will say that close to 40% of our farmlands are not in productive use as a result of cocoa swollen shoot virus disease. The more we are able to rehabilitate these lands, and bring them into production, it will also help. Whilst we are looking at our government 200,000, we also need to do the rehabilitation.
So no, boy here do most start baby sir.
No, ena eyemeya.
Aden.
See a koji sa AFDB scan.
Sure.
Sika ye koji no. Ye koji 200 and initially and I think it was 223. $223 million. See the be 156,000 hectares. Rehabilitation of both disease and moribund farms, aged farms. 156,000. Now, this 156,000 would have brought a minimum of 156,000 tons if we had rehabilitated them. Now, most of the disease farms, Western North.
Yes.
And that is how come our Western North has lost the number 1 to Ashanti because of CSSVD. So you could just ask I see at the 156,000 hectares. AFDB loan. Now there was another $40 million for irrigation. Now, Obibeja say Cocoa Board renegotiate irrigation there. No so money irrigation biom. Yemfanka rehabilitation. The rehabilitation is kind of $263 million. Miko drew Cocoa Board. The same offsite presentations. $263 million.
The money is finished?
Finished. Another loan you still we pay every year with cocoa. Another 700 million cedis from Cocoa Board coffers and also co. The farms that had been rehabilitated and handed over to farmers was 40,000 hectares.
40,000 hectares?
Yes, that is what had been fully done and handed over to farmers.
And the money is finished?
Tell me, Obi, $223 million was the figure for 156,000 hectares. There was $40 million for irrigation. Cocoa Board negotiated for this $40 million to be added to the 223.
The 223.
So $263 million instead of 223.
Yeah.
The $263 million gone. Additional 700 million cedis from Cocoa Board coffers also gone. What was completed and handed over to farmers? 40,000 hectares.
Out of 150,000?
156,000. Then there was another 21,000 hectares, which was partly done. Into our farmers, they refer to it as farms now kangaroo. So we have asked our officers to get the people back to go and do the BSA within 2. They must replace some of the plantain suckers, So we have asked them to go and do, and that will come at an additional cost, so that at least we can add this 21,000 to our productive farming. But 40,000 is what fully done, handed over to farmers. $263 million.
But have you
plus audited, 700?
Have you audited the entire project?
The board has ordered an audit, so that will be done.
Okay.
So $263 million gone. Another 700 million cedis gone. 40,000 is what was completed and handed over to farmers.
But because this is here, rehabilitation is a part of also bigger strategy in bringing your production.
We need between 1.2 to 1.5 billion dollars
to do the rehabilitation.
So we are now thinking of how financing any finance minister. He's also interested in how we can find a way of doing that, because if we want to deal with the increase in production, because you see, you already know, say the places are suitable for cocoa. You know it already. So you have to do the rehabilitation. Once you do that, you bring them into productive use. But it costs a lot of money.
What it then means, we cannot target anything beyond 650,000 tons. No?
We can't say that. We cannot say that. There are many other factors. Well, and one of the things that you need to also know, under rehabilitation, for example, World Bank, we are doing it like a backdoor approach to turning smallholder farms into plantations.
Okay.
Into what you've done is that you've turned them into cooperatives.
Okay.
And they've signed deals, which means that if one farm fails, everybody else has failed.
Yeah.
So although they retain their individual ownership, for agronomic practices, you do it across the board. So it's like a backdoor way.
Yeah.
But piloting is just 21,000 hectares in eastern and western regions.
Okay.
That's what is started. We're hoping we'll be able to do it and do it so well. And some of the learnings from AFDB has led into improvements in the World Bank one.
Okay.
And I'm even sure, even with the World Bank one, if we were to do another rehabilitation, we could even do it much better than what is being done. But the truth of the matter is that we need to find the money to bring all those farmlands into productive use. Because people speak about farmer welfare. Have we asked ourselves, and it's our farmers, and their dependents for all those farms now, swollen shoots now affecting, what about their livelihoods? They are no more.
It's true. Ekosiisen On Asempa FM. Mene Dr. Randy Abe, Cocoa Board CEO and AD Nkomo. We say Obi, please ask Doc, what portion of Ghana's cocoa export proceeds is being allocated to Cocoa Board's stabilization fund, given the fund's critical role in shielding farmers from price volatilities? And I think that's a very important question. This year, fact to say 2.17 billion are abem from cocoa in exports now. Percentage saying they're going to stabilization fund be how?
They're supposed to be, but it's not there. Yeah, it's not there. There's nothing. Member 2 stabilization fund. Member 2 stabilization fund. Yeah. And say at this time, so no, a kana adukru, and as I yes, I'm going to a kana adukru. Say no, dream sending obey, Say stabilization fund in good times, you put something down. So that in bad times, you can member 2 stabilization fund. Yeah.
But all plans will be creative there.
Oh, obviously, when things improve, we have to do something like that. Yeah.
Wow. My share other messages nibi na fe doc enya no my 0548 443 523 0548 443 523. That's our WhatsApp number. 0548 443 523. Odo message eba we keep it simple clean na for yetimi akan ede ama yede ama Dr. Randy Abe. We say Obi, good afternoon. We say Obi, a doctor can explain from now to the end of President Mohammed's tenure. All that farmers need is 6,000 per bag. Manan Abdul Manan from Bimbila Cocoa Board CEO Atonebo Achechere Enomo. We say Obi, what is the projected production for the number of tons of cocoa in the 2025-2026 season, and how confident is Randy that we would meet that target? Because for years our production has been dropping. Nanabi, East Legon, and Odewe Aba. Randy, I think that's a very important
yes.
question.
So
this is our target. You're saying
650,000.
Yes, that's like the same target for last year.
So last year, the target was 665 initially,
okay,
and then it was revised to, I think, 605.
605.
I think so. I think so about that.
But this year, more target is 650.
650, yes.
And you think say achievable?
Yes.
It is achievable.
Yes, we think so.
And funding for 650,000, through 60-40
yes.
And I'm going to be funding.
Yes.
What me are locking in a lot of contract?
Not a lot. On say prices start here.
Yes.
Until buyers so more ready.
Yes.
Or more trend yet to say a conformer, then they wait. Until now, your target was that say about me are locking about 300,000.
Okay.
But I don't think that we were able to do even 200. Because I say are there no more downward trend. Sometimes buyers so they try to push it. Into what they say all those news agencies sometimes production now. They sometimes use that to speculate. Oh, Ghana increase it to 800,000. Cote d'Ivoire cut to 1.8 million. Until when globally, the impression is that there's going to be an increase in global year, then it drives the prices down. But when the projection is that there will be a shortage, rainfall pattern was not good, and that way there will be a shortage. Naturally, say prices no be cost. So when they project say production be through the brain now, then what it means is that prices are being driven down. So sometimes when you don't understand some mechanics now, it is something that you should be careful when you speak, how you speak, what you say.
Well, it has effect on the market.
There are implications. It is sometimes I don't say Ghana, there is that 1 million thing. But you should also know, say, I would be happy if we're doing 1 million and all that. Yeah. But we must also know, say, the higher the production, the lower the price.
The lower the price.
The lower the production, the higher the price. These are hard facts and truths that we must all know. Embrace ourselves. Nobody should think, say, when you are doing 1 million, Cote d'Ivoire is doing 2.5 million a year now. Your prices will still be 7,000 those things.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the analysts they all saying say we are in a territory which is abnormal. Until they expect say the natural thing. First of all, they all agree say the era of the 2000 and 3000s are gone. They expect say look, naturally we will fall between 5,000 and 6,000. Yeah. That's where they think it is, because they think say baby I was say abnormal, and it's because of these global shortages and all that. So they're expecting say once production ramp up, and now kind baby Cameroon, but it's almost they want to go here. Ecuador wants to go here. Brazil wants to go here. This wants to go. All those ones, so they drive prices down, and it's something we must know. Until when we even speak about the 1 million and all that, they say now there is a higher,
price to pay.
The higher the global production, the lower
the price.
The price.
Obi, kindly ask Dr. Randy, will Cocoa Board review the cocoa price for farmers if, for example, by October 2025, the exchange rate changes from the current $1 to 10.25 to say 12.5 Ghana cedis to $1?
Yeah, if it is significant, you need to look at it.
Okay.
Because nothing is cast in stone. Like I told you, you see, what people also don't realize, they say, about 10 point something, are buying us subsidizing.
Yeah.
Are buying us subsidizing. So the farmer has not taken a hit. But all other sectors, so these are all unpaid bills. And the farmer has enjoyed that. It is sometimes so say prices no cost through, and we raise the issue about the farmer and things. We need to be careful. I met some European diplomats. Let me catch them and say, you see, some of the hypocrisy. People keep talking about Cocoa Board and this, and the farmer doesn't get this today. By virtue of the exchange rate and the fact that government has maintained the same price, the farmer is taking over 99%. Why are you not complaining? Why are you not speaking about a subsidy? Well, so sometimes, the issue of guaranteed pricing and all those things, and on the advantages. But we always tend to look at when we think that the farmer is being shortchanged. But when it is the other way around, nobody speaks to it. All text bad, nobody is. I've not seen a single text. Or can say government paying the farmer as if it is 16 cedis when it was 10.3 no, is commendable. Nobody has said that.
Maybe you've also not told that story well enough.
But I'm saying right here on this show. Right here on this show.
Yeah.
But you see the nature and tone of the messages. But the truth of the matter is that the farmer has been subsidized in the last 5 months. When almost 5 point something cedis has been shaved off the exchange rate. But that amount has been maintained for the farmer. And something must give. That money will come from somewhere.
Yeah. And it's also possible, say Siciano dollar no epija ni mo kakra. Ni fan say $1 to say 15 cedis in the next 2 months. Something would have to happen.
Something drastic like that. Yeah. Obviously, you have to look at it.
Don't
forget, say, me catch it out, say, all the other stakeholders agree to sacrifice. Yeah. So even them, they are hoping, say, if any of the variables changes significantly, we'll come back and look at their margins. What did I mention? I say,
It makes sense. We say, Obi, ask Dr. Randy about pension fund for cocoa farmers. I have for boating or say thank you. Okay, me kaisa almost started so almost build the database be of all farmers, cocoa farmers across the country for the purpose of some pension. No, bibi awababi who in the handing over note.
Me buy no. I'd also heard about that pension. I think there was a lunch was a BB, one of the hotels, and all that. Media na me feel say a BB na ekoso.
Okay.
But me buy no be say na mo so it's not taking off. It's not taking off. Me be say no there was a problem with the farmers.
Oh, okay.
Now farmers no NTS say it was so mo so contributed to pension. Now me say the stakeholder engagement and a course before all those announcements were made. Because me feel say before we make any announcement, at least I was say stakeholders in ATS, especially farmers, ATS say pension here no. This is the nature of it. Say na farmer no be contribute to, say na employer no as in cocoa board be contribute to. This is the number of years I'll be a contribution. No? Because it is not BBA easy, sir. You need to have actuarial scientists and things all coming.
Yeah.
Because many will pension no. Actuarial scientists are here. A computing number of years as I say a contributing. Send your investment how we can get what we will get at this point. If you profile the ages of farmers, how many years do you expect a farmer, for example, to contribute before they get something? How do you expect the farmer to contribute? Because farmers know so what will be the modalities for it? How is the contribution going to come? Or contributing, what form was it going to be? Is it going to be voluntary? Is it going to be to say to me and so all those questions have not been answered. All those questions have not been answered. Into me around farmers no more raise here, and I keep telling them say me what pension no, me as employee no me contribute to be, and I'm employer no contribute to. The only difference this employer no contributing more than me, but me contributing, and a contribution no, so I say me contribute to a certain number of years. Now me contribute a certain number of years. Even to calculate what I deserve, no, there's 3 years of your highest pay. There's a whole way that is calculated. It is our money no had not been sorted out. So what it means is that we now need to bring in new consultants to now look at the issue and then tell us whether it is feasible or not. If it is feasible, in what form, before we can make the next move.
And the launch was done without Sanioma way.
I'm just saying, sir, this is what I've come to meet. First of all, there's no pension scheme. As we speak, there's no pension scheme. Somebody should tell us, oh, there's a pension scheme, no. Yes. Do you understand me? You will see in the book, we made provision for X amount as cocoa pension. But that is not how pensions are done. What did I mention?
On the statement from Dr. KCL, no care about cocoa traceability system.
Yes.
Mo pese mo introduce. And no so modalities not the same.
First of all, European Union. Okay. Yeah, will be a friend EUDR.
Okay.
So European Union deforestation regulation.
Okay.
Now Bibia previous administration started here. Yen year 2 year, and we've also continued it. Now Mrano 31st December and a EUDR no ever take place. Simply, we should be able to trace every cocoa from the farm. Until if we studio a OB farm and a cocoa this particular sack every OB farm now, we should be able to track it even up to where the porter ebe shippy.
Oh, okay.
So you can be able to trace every single bin to the source. And if it is a product of deforestation, you will track it.
Know.
If it's child labor, you find it. If the quality is suspect, you know the farmer at the end free. And that is where the mapping of the farms were done and everything. So there's that database.
Okay.
And the eight major LBCs no area dry run.
Okay.
There's also another run with about 40 something of the LBCs before we never started. And we are trying to use that for 25-26 season. But regulation and Kasana kicks off 31st December 2025. It is a European Union
funded
deforestation regulation.
Okay.
Now, why it is important, they say Europe is a destination of 60% of our cocoa exports. So it is important that you are able to meet their standards. Otherwise, 60% of your market is shut to you. Yes.
Oh, okay. So this is a critical thing.
Yeah.
And quickly on cocoa tertiary scholarship scheme.
Yes.
And no Minister Kase mo pese mo share here with the 2026-2027 academic year. How would this be run? Mo be running way saying.
Okay, so first of all, no, on say free SHS no.
Yeah.
A render cocoa board scholarship no moot because cocoa board scholarship was on secondary school. Okay. Now me buy no me share books no me who say previous board no. Omo take decisions on be baby the cocoa board trust. Na trust no omo ebe votiska to build school dying ewo deprived cocoa communities. And no na omo person omo ye in place of the cocoa board says cocoa scholarship secretariat is no more. So that is what they decided to do. Almost setting up a board subcommittee to deal with the implementation of it. Unfortunately, the board subcommittee never met, and so they never actioned it. Although they set aside some money, our investment account. I'm not too sure about the figure, whether it's 10 million or 15 million or something. I'm not too sure. Pardon me for that. Okay. But it's an investment account or a rollover of that account. But they never did that. Yes, we are buying. We were also thinking through. Because this scholarship was a key plank or the main CSR for Cocoa Board. And we're also thinking of what to do. The issue of Sabaya for secondary school. That's say crowd for first year. Cocoa farmer no baso or secondary or person or tertiary. Why don't we look at the possibility? Say a bit to me BB for tertiary.
Okay.
So that idea came. Then because Aprabono of all the cocoa regions, it came up strongly.
Scholarship, no?
Say the tertiary and all that. Then incidentally, His Excellency the President, I can say no. He's thought about this thing, but we should look at the possibility of doing tertiary scholarships for
cocoa farmers.
Cocoa farmers in Ma. We should look at the possibility of it. And the finance minister, who's the supervising minister, then said that look, we should use 25-26 to do all the work, the feasibility and establish the modalities and everything, and look at how we can kick it off 26-27 because already 25-26 academic year it's just next month. So obviously you cannot be doing anything for that. So at least we have this period to bring in the experts to help us to look at it, look at the financing, the cost and everything. And then we'll be able to determine say year one you bet me I say maybe year two you bet me I say, then we scale it to whatever. Fortunately in your database
of farmers
because of traceability CMS identity. There's a mapping of the farmers, there's a registration, and like I said, this started from the previous administration. So we have come to inherit it, and we have also continued to try and make sure that it works. We are now going to bring in the experts who will then come in and look at all that and advise us.
Advise more.
Yes. Say how can we start it? How can we take it off and all that? Omuya say Jumani we are, then obviously report to the finance minister. Then they might go to cabinet and then we'll look at how you bet me starting
the challenge will be again
627
abuse in the day of such scholarship
so
schemes, no?
we will look at all those, obviously, all the previous experiences, will be factored into
that's true. Ekosiisen On Asempa FM, we should be wrapping up now, but again your friend the MP for you kind of saying Oforikrum is back with another one, Honorable Michael Edu. Osei Ono a copy supposedly from the handing over note on the bit about rollover and the fact that it was contained in the handing over note. Osei in this point, I don't know if you've seen it. I said the company sold a total of 6 million metric tons. 6 million metric tons valued at $16 billion with an average CIF price of $2,703 from January 2017 to December 2024. Cocoa beans taken over and shipped over the period amounted to 6.269 million metric. Is it million? Yeah, million metric tons. According to him, this was indicated in the handing over note.
6 point something million over what?
From 2017 January to December 2024.
But that's not how you do it. There's a specific occurrence. Something specific has happened. You state it. It's why 6 point something million on the calculation from 2017. There's a specific incident. You speak to it specifically. And I will be an answer. A lawyer. There's a specific incident for a particular year. Because sign contract to say meant to me and supply that particular thing. Repercussions for following season. In fact, no reason tia meant to me and my cocoa farmer no A and B. Is this something that you mask under data from 2017? Yes. Is that how you do it? Is that how you do it? That says a lot about transparency. I'm saying, the report that was put on my desk, there are specific issues. Specific interventions.
That was not contained.
Specific. Okay. They didn't do 2017 to 2018 for me to sit down and now break it down and go and do analysis. Things that you would not even consider that important were highlighted.
Why not this?
I mean, this is more than this is at the heart of the operations of the company. When you're unable to supply almost half of what your projected yield was going to be, almost half, and the implications it has financially is in billions of US dollars. Is it something you mask under 2017 to something? Like I've told you, I'm not interested in. I didn't want to, A or B and all that. I mean, there'll be time for people to answer for whatever. My focus is to see how we can all work collectively to turn things around. Okay. In the course of that, there are facts that must be known. Because there are people who know better and are engaged in all manner of things. On Facebook, I've seen some people who have worked at Cocoa Board who ought to know better. I've seen some of the commentary that they've written, some of the things that they have said. And I'm like, how can we accept such level of dishonesty? You know very well. Said these are the facts, these are the issues. And then you decide, you will play to a certain tangent because the facts are the facts. What exchange rate in Ghana is today, we know it. Yes. We know inflation is trending down, we know. If ultimately this reflects seriously, it reflects that is what is expected. It reflected largely in general goods and prices. Some prices are trending down and all that. People will begin to feel, yes, even though maybe CD value near what it can do is perhaps more than what the 16 could do. Right. So in the face of these facts, I wonder how can you tell me that $3,100 is better than $5,040. How can you tell me that? So let's keep the 3,100 and multiply it by 10.25. And multiply it by 10.25 and tell me if it's better.
No, that would mean what will get to the cocoa farmer will be.
That's the point. So why will anybody, in the face of these facts, this truth, still try and play to the gallery and pretend they say on Tiasie? I know name the Ekoso.
Very well, Doc. Obi, kindly extend my regards to my boss and big brother, Dr. Randy Abbey, and commend him for his stewardship at Cocoa Board thus far. I agree there is a lot more work to be done in the sector to better the lot of the Ghanaian cocoa farmer, and I have confidence in him to rise to the occasion for God and for country. Lawyer Idi Muhayuddin and
well, he did. How are you?
Yeah. Idi Muhayuddin.
Yes. Brilliant guy.
Sure. In the Anthony Nukbeno, me kind message from Abdul Manaf in Bimbela. Osei Obi, ask Abdul Manaf in Bimbela, do they plant cocoa? And then
maybe Abdul Manaf has a cocoa farm outside Bimbela.
You see, Charlie, it's been great having you. Osei Obi, good evening to Dr. Randy Abbey. Honestly, we appreciate the CEO's detailed explanation on the new current cocoa price. But you see, the problem is not about him. Far from that. The main problem is about the words from the finance minister and the president during the 2024 campaign. We can only wish him well. But honestly, with the prior information and expectations of Ghanaians about the recent agenda of the NDC, there is much work for Dr. Randy Abbey. Shadrach Abrefa means all the way in Sunyane and all the way Abraying. But you agree, sir, based on our comment, so and creative.
No, but
what seems to be a challenge.
I think, sir, people are just refusing
to understand the current.
See, sir, obviously, a farmer should have been paid 6,000 cedis.
Yes.
At the time, exchange rate is 16.
Yes.
At the time, now average cocoa price in the world was 8.5. Odika.
Based on the exchange rate then.
Odika. Because you see, Mima Betraha, my explaining to you how we arrived at 7.2.
Yeah.
Did you hear anybody explaining to you, first of all, telling you that the FOB was even 4,850? First of all, did anybody tell you that? No. 2, did anybody even explain to you the NT are there near 4,850 and why the farmer is getting 3.1? Nobody. If Cocoa Board, remember, I'm the chief executive of a company. I've come to open myself up. If Cocoa Board at that time and now argument no cause said to your assistant, if Cocoa Board, send a member try, Cocoa Board try, a car HL Ghanaians through medium, he say, no credit prices near say. Now so a son said the course 23-24. You could sign a contract $2,600 per bag. But yen to me and supply 333,000 tons in tea. Although our prices ne cost no. I was here weighted average because I see a supply. So high price no at 2.6 na ye cotton no. Inti anunti yen weighted average no ebeba 4,850 instead of yen fan say 8,000. Because I was here a supply over 200,000 of that. If we are expecting 600,000, I see a factor in say be at 220,000 no, ebe 2.6. And maybe at 380,000, ebe 8,000. Into your striking average now, your weighted average be about 4,850. Into your nuntino, your bema farmer no, I know you can 3.1, which is 63.9%. If anybody had given you this explanation, we would all have known. Say 4,850 any FOB Cocoa Board yaba. Now 4,850 no so Cocoa Board buy no. The entire ye who say prices e was through near. Now so 4,850 because you can sign contract 2.6 any to me and deliver. And 1,000, 30,000, 333,000. It was here the high price cocoa no. A supplies are 2.6 no. Inti all do among say prices e cost no. Yen to me
and mamu say.
Inti no ye weighted average now ebeba 4,850. Na enumu no ye bema farmer no 63.9% 3.1. If this had been explained, of course, people will say, come and explain how come you did
those contracts
and roll over and others. It would have been a separate discussion. and people would have been held to account for that. What did I mention? I say, but then you would have been transparent and honest. To be say this is the situation. But say who say there will be a question who 12,000 in the son will be asked who say you're 10,000 in 9,000. Now so my farmer 3-1. First of all, they don't even know the FOB. I would not so they my farmer 3-1. And at the end will arrive here as FOB no. Enti obi a raise side issue na odika. But you then also turn around and say nipa ne kan sa nti irrespective of what the factors are today, what the variables are today, what the facts are today. Nipa ne say 6,000 to 6,000. Is the exchange rate the same? And I make sure I will say if the exchange rate was constant at 16 cedis, the 5,040 would have been over 80,000 Ghana cedis. But the truth of the matter is that the exchange rate is 10.25. Yeah. Do we want that or not? Yepe. Say exchange rate no above from anasi mpe. Me exporter. And to beside me say me catch or say ehame. Because me hear me financial projections no me use 15. And I thought I was being conservative. It be use 15 no me tio. There was a day I miss Charlie. I there no 4 years me clear cano. On the basis of projections, I mean using 15. I thought that I was in fact finance minister too. But then no, we talk a lot. Yeah. But then no, when I meet is yet you bon command or catch them so Charlie Randy work with 12. I'm say, hey Charlie, you are knocking 3 cities so Charlie work with 12. I'm say you mati. Me ba office ambe frère me team no. Say look, let's change all the exchange rates no. Yeah 12. Ni enhwe se ne be. Yeah, na dey na nye there but ye share say 12 na ye betumi I say ni senti ye be drop away I say. Me sorry anopa.
Aba feather.
Adena ba below 12. Na me frère finance minister. Say Ato. But I catch him there me use 12. So Randy sorry use 10. Do you understand what I'm saying? Enti Osha, if you even look at let's say revenues of 4 billion, 5 cedis off 4 billion is 20 billion cedis. 20 billion cedis. 5 cedis off. 20 billion cedis. That's off the revenue. Ube share make aside that. So 32 point something billion no. Say you know as a result of exchange rate now about 28 billion. Because of the dollar index part component of it no. But overall no, me no enye mame because now it makes my picture looks more gloomy. The period that met me I repay, met me I turn around no. It's becoming worse and worse and worse because I sell in US dollars. The Bank of Ghana takes my dollar and then gives me their rate. But at the end of the day, we must also look at the larger Ghanaian economy. Larger Ghanaian economy. So I must go outside my space as Cocoa Board and look at what is good for the larger Ghanaian economy. Is a stronger city better for the larger Ghanaian economy?
Sure it is.
Yes. But obviously, you know, you win some, you lose some. Yes. Export, no. It will hit us. Yeah. Up until the time ebia obetumi aka say ebia say my na reduce ukra to say me fan say me 15 cedis about 10 cedis 10 cedis no say ne dia metumi the year no e change dia me 15 cedis ne year but and also no process and overnight what the American say so we must balance it so we don't have to make it look as if say a stronger city is a crime. Is bad for the Ghanaian economy. If you are an importer, you'll be happy, extremely happy. You are an exporter, you will not be happy.
You will not be very happy.
So it is the balancing act, how government tries to balance it. And I think that is the reason why government decided, say, it will subsidize the farmer no, by 1,114 cedis per bag.
Within that 5 months.
Within that 5 months, no. Because government realizes, say, oh yeah, bibia good for the general economy. But obi bekemu in the interim, how does government try and minimize the impact?
But Randy Woodham said something significant happened under your predecessor. And where Dennis Miracles Abuaje message.
Hey.
Osei Obi, yeah. Osei Obi, what happened to the living income differential of $400 per ton, which was supposed to top up the FOB for the farmers? In this new calculation, LID we mo factor.
Mu 4,850 no LID no wo mu. 72 no LID no wo mu. The LID is included before it's announced. Into 4,850 included the 400 LID. That is solely for the farmer. The 72 includes the 400 LID. So it's not as if say under MPP, there was 4,850 and then another 400. The 4,850 included the 400 LID. The 72 includes the 400 LID.
Andy, may I say, I think it's been a very good interview. Hopefully, best science what na see din komobio.
Yo, me that's
Dr. Randy Abbey. No way brutal. After this short break, Eric J. Ewaha, Onufri NEIP, and the Minister Eco Government Accountability Forum, Eco Kasai. Wabron Semso, Kofi Tonto would also join us. Na yedi enkomo. After this very, very short break, Montreal Yebasisi Ayeba will get into the vexed matter. Stay with us.
Ecobank Mobile to make me say, Ecobank Mobile to make me crazy. Download it and use it. It gon' make your life so easy. Download it. You go enjoy it. You can pay bills, you can buy credit, you can pay school fees, even just tights with the Apple. Ecobank Apple.
The Ecobank mobile app. You can pay your bills, transfer to and from mobile wallet, virtual card creation, transfer to other banks, express account opening, scan and pay, express cash, all at your fingertips with the Ecobank mobile app. You know it's 5-star life with Ecobank. King promise.
Intimi kwami banpo penny market ya enye insuta na yesta ibisano antonswa bobu. Esan say me packet ye miensape. Me thank you. Emon do for bia dum me. Wa bombo se say me kope tank into. Na din tank na meta me high. Syntax tank. Din na echepa. Syntax tank. Tank benzu ne kita warranty bebre. Syntax tank. Na fees so. Uni my favorite color no. Tank ben bit na yama me. Syntax tank. Obia says Syntax tank. Case close. Tribel tank. Shedi actual. Eye SINTEX. Syntax tank na. Enye na be bie. Syntax tank. Eye strong. Eye tough. Electrical appliance na opato. Say your mobile phones me to say Nokia, Samsung, Infinix, any phones ahodoɔ nyinaa. Smart TVs, air conditioners, chest freezer, double decker, tabletop fridges, and a washing machine, microwaves, blenders, CCTV camera, any Franco electrical appliances. Durable and very energy efficient. What sounds what it bonus so. Gura branch beer benwo. Nekwaji electrical appliances. Eye papa nani buofu. Every Franco. Anafre 0246 422 338 and 0555 939311 and www.francotrading.com. Now to add your online. Ubet up to 40% discount. Electrical appliances papa ifi. Eye bakope. Eye Franco.
When I day home and want something quick to chop, everything they inside, groundnut milk and sugar. I only need some water, so kiss made easy. Keep carry mix, eat a bio, chop them anywhere. Eat a bio, keep carry for your office, boarding house, everything they inside, groundnut milk and sugar. I only need some water, so kiss make easy. Keep carry mix, eat a bio,
Give a 4-in-1 Gary mix. Soakings are easy. This advert.
Hello, Masake. Hello. Hello. Mekana do mo kwa unse sia o. Dashboard light do so ni na so so. Enti brase sia na be twa me.
You wo dey park ni ye, member.
Hello. Hello, Masake.
Don't let this happen to you again. A to Z Auto Diagnostics is running an intensive training program on how to detect and rectify faults with an auto diagnostic machine. After 4 sessions, you should be able to identify fault codes with pinpoint accuracy and solve mechanical or electrical problems with ease. All participants will be presented with certificates and a brand new Autel MaxiDiag Elite Diagnostic Machine with a 12-month update after the training. No more Google search, no guesswork, just straight to the point fault detection from engine, gearbox, ABS to airbag, oil reset and more. Machine priced at Dafon Bokor. Learn, own and become an auto diagnostic expert today. Call 0240-202828. A to Z Auto Servicing Limited. Still your one-stop shop for all your auto needs.
Semisoriano pa Kel Chaco toothpaste na me de twetwe me se e ma me confidence the money nyina
se wushia ama na me sifit guso na mesre a ya wanwa me de Kel Chaco toothpaste ene twetwe me se oba de ni pa e wo bidie mu no ene e dia ye Kel Chaco toothpaste e boy sen ho ban e free mowa e boy sen mu tokro e sen ahye ene enumuka sure say amani Kel Chaco toothpaste so nie yeti center for
me de magical Chaco toothpaste atubu me use na no pa ya na dwa me koda no e ma me sinye fita confidence level kwaso entibi na ma na me sin 32 ni na guso
en kaneno ani ma me num di bidie twetwe yense no asaya bebie mu bidie wo Kel Chaco toothpaste mu no e ma sinye fita e ma na hoden ne sayi nka bia wo wonum ye hwam enunti mo amonom cafe wine any tobacco e kamo seso no abama mo Kel Chaco toothpaste sankofa yenchi
happy smile. FDA aje edwedin krato ya tomo.
Ecobank Mobile they make me say oh yeah. Ecobank Mobile they make me crazy. Download it and use it. It gon' make your life so easy. Yeah. Oh yeah. Download it. You go enjoy it. In my come make a download them for you. Cause you can pay bills, you can buy credit, you can pay school fees, even just tights with the Apple.